days, baby. Gonna break this.
What was
thing.
that?
What,
the Cave Crusader does not approve.
The K Crusader. Oh, thank goodness you're here. Oh, it always feels like it's Detroit versus everybody. I don't know who's on my side.
I know you've never seen Detroit Kool-Aid and the Cade Crusader in the same place. For the people, hey, we're gonna have to continuously remind them. The Cade Crusader had to get on Mr. Jeff Iafredi's case.
Does the K Crusader enjoy talking in the third person?
You know what? I had to get on Mr. Jeff Iafredi's case this week. Yes, I am rocking the Pistons fitted for the culture.
Oh, for the culture. Absolutely. The
Hey,
Crusader is all about the culture.
Detroit Kool-Aid told me that Mr. Jeffrey Iafredi slept through his alarm clock and missed his Woodward Pistons podcast appearance. Rob Beard from the Detroit News and Detroit Kool-Aid from Woodward Pistons, Woodward Sports, they had to get him. And I was there to witness it live.
Man, this Jeff Iafredi kid, something else.
Welcome to the show, King. I am the Cade Crusader.
My king. My king.
I am the Cade.
What have I walked into? What?
Bruh, we look like a Klondike bar right now. I love
it. Got my whole green screen falling down and everything.
Yeah.
Man, the K Crusader, you have a very similar looking setup to Kool-Aid.
I probably should have had Gotham in the background, huh?
Do you and Kool-Aid shop at the same chair? do you get the same furniture?
We shop at the same hat store. I know that for sure.
You guys, man.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, shout out to Carl. Dope.
What up, Carl? How you doing, man? It's good to see
you, man. Hey, already a W stream.
Man, like it's a W stream because we're more up and close and personal this stream. We got this vertical slice. We're all up in each other's grills right now.
They don't understand. It's the Cade Crusader. Hey, look at that. The gym building in the background. Can we say that?
Wow.
Come on, man.
Detail.
We hear the
detail. What's good, Carl? Good to see you, man. Always.
Listen, they don't understand, y'all. The Cade Crusader had to get on Mr. Jeffrey Iafredi's case. He missed the Woodward Pistons podcast last week. He tried to return this week, and we wasn't having it. Listen, you got to go and check out that episode. You got to. Also, yes, the Cade Crusader is rocking the Cade Cunningham scruff. He is.
Yeah, I'm also growing out the beard. If you can't
everybody,
tell.
I'm about to say, everybody got it going.
Yeah, I got that huge scruff. If you can't tell, all three of us with our facial hair, as men with beards. I'm a beard enthusiast, and I'm evening two of my favorite streamers in a mask stranger. Listen, those aren't that's not a mask. Those are just glasses King's wearing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody knows who the Cade Crusader is.
Good Lord.
Woodward. Let's go.
Happening?
Wait, is the Cade Crusader on Twitter?
He should be.
I feel like that's.
I don't even know what to say.
Go lock that down.
All right, yeah. Hold on. Let me make an account real quick. We're all just racing.
Bro, they said, 1.25
Wow.
Dog,
hey, Chuck, come on, man. Chuck, you don't gotta do me like that, man. Dude, it's like when someone told me on Twitter that my hairline did a bigger step back than James Harden. I was like, come on, man.
What is
come on, man.
I was like, come on, man. Like,
bro,
that's
the comments,
dude.
Like,
you know what's even worse, King? I get on here, I'm excited to I try out my auto tune before,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hit it. It's doing the Alvin Chipmunk thing again, bro. Like, why is it that whenever I just want to bring the auto-tune to the people, I gotta sound like Alvin the Chipmunk? What's going on, man? Like, that's just not fair.
That's not very Cade Crusaderish.
Bro, what? What is that? Oh my God.
The Cade Crusader. Oh my goodness, dude. Unreal, man. The things I have to put up with. Unbelievable. King, I'm ready for the draft, dude. Which is his real voice and which is modified? Come on, Chuck. Come on, Chuck.
Chuck gives you no breaks at all.
None. He'll never give me a break. And I don't want him to. Chuck, bring it. That's all I'm going to say. Keep bringing it.
You know,
Kool-Aid, you're here. What's going on,
here.
man?
What's up,
Kool-Aid,
everybody?
what's happening, dude? It's good to see you.
I'm gonna be talking. What did one commenter say? 8 words a minute.
Bro,
Somebody told me they was like, "Yo, bro, the negative comments are the worst, bro. It's like you first start off with the support, and then they come in for you, and it's just like, dang." But I don't even care, bro. We got enough of y'all out there that love us.
dude, did you see, but did you just see we had the Cade Crusader here, dude?
Who?
This man doesn't even know what's going on in his own stream. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, I got,
happened?
hey, baby, we working again.
Hey, what's up, Chuck? What's up?
Wait.
Welcome to the stream, Chuck.
I think we just figured
Hey,
it
let's
out.
go.
Wait, hold on. Theory. Cade Crusader's the one that's breaking my auto tune. Once the Cade Crusader is gone, I can do it again.
Oh man,
That's what's happening. The Cade Crusader swooping in.
bro. Hey, who took what mask off, man? I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's what I got to deal with.
King is like, y'all summoned me for
You know
this?
what's happening? You know what the secret is? We're just going mad because we're just waiting for the draft, dude. That's what's happening.
We are, man.
We're at that point of the season where we're like doing like one of those like you got any draft boards, you got any mock drafts, you got any Keegan Murray talk, you got it like
you know why though?
You
know why though, Sean? It's because of players like, especially in this draft, we all believe that Troy Weaver's about to get busy. We all believe we're coming out this draft for like, I'd said on the other podcast, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we came out with like 5 draft picks in this draft, between the first and second rounds. But, with guys on the board like Benedict Mathurin who make it really, really interesting, seeing Troy's pedigree in terms of how he drafts players, how he can go in the bottom rounds of these first rounds and find people like Saddiq Bey. That's what I think is getting people really excited about this draft. Not just that 5th pick, but everything else that can happen. And I want to ask people, I want to ask you guys, before we get into a little bit of the draft talk, let's go to Saddiq Bey. I don't think we give him enough attention, man. I don't think we do. Do you guys believe he is a bona fide future star?
I think he's a future all-star. I think he's someone that when first of all, I understand that we're seeing more and more guys putting up high-scoring games, but it's significant when a guy gets 50 points at his age. It's not nothing. And in addition, his ability to score, I mean, a guy who before this season we had questions on whether or not he could put it on the deck, and we just see him this offseason and implement that into his game and get better at it as time has gone on. And so when I look at Saddiq, he has what you want on the defensive end. I think he has the ability to be a Chris Middleton type player where he can impact games. And I think he can be that type of guy that has ice in his veins. And, if Cade's off towards the end, we can put the ball in Saddiq's hands. I'm comfortable with him scoring the basketball. I really am. And, I'm just excited to see how he develops and grows as a player because he's a guy that, he's gonna be a really good player for a long time.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, man. When I look at what he's doing out there in the court, I see a player that if he was in his own, spotlight, no shadow of cage or anything like that, his arc might be somewhere he has the skills and the talent to be that number one. But, I said this on the Woodward Pistons podcast. I love intelligent players, high IQ players, the ones that when they're on a good team or when they see good players around them, they understand how to adapt to that. And that's what I believe is going to make him that all-star caliber player. Not somebody who's taking a step back, but somebody who's finding another way to contribute, not to be in the shadow, but to complement. Like, that's what Scottie Pippen did. I know that sometimes we make fun of the fact that he continues to elevate himself in some of these rankings, but that confidence is what made him not necessarily just a B, but like, this dude is an actually bona fide star. He still took them Bulls to the finals, even when Jordan wasn't there. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Not that Saddiq Bey is going to be Scottie Pippen, people. Just that I see a certain confidence in him and a certain intelligence in him to be able to better adapt and to still contribute without having to say, well, I can just shoot threes at least when K is going. Like, nah, you see him being able to cut, slash, rebound. I really like that jump in this game, the rebounding, which is huge, especially if he's going to play any four next year, any of them. So,
yeah, there were nights where he was our leading rebounder. Like, there were nights where he was more reliable on the glass than Beef Stew at times.
Yeah, another thing a lot of people don't talk about too is he has the ability to get to the free throw line. Saddiq Bey can get to the free throw line when he wants to put that ball on the floor and try to attack the basket, man. So, like I said, I think he could be that Jaylen Brown to our Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? That's what I honestly do. Jaylen, by any stretch, is not taking the back seat to Jason Tatum, but he just, he realizes, hey, man, I can do other things to help us win. Like I said, they're beating the Golden State Warriors right now in the finals. So, like I said, they don't have a team full of superstars. You got Al Horford, who's 173 years old.
They don't even have a true point guard.
Exactly. But you know what they have? Teamwork, defense, togetherness. You know what I'm saying? All of those things, the unsexy things that a lot of fan bases don't want to hear, that's what they have, and they're surviving off of that, man.
Yep.
So, hey.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, Saddiq's just one of those guys that you can never have enough of guys like him on your roster. I mean, it's his impact was so instantaneous. And you could just tell from his limited minutes, even when he started, that he was going to be a stud. And just now, the more opportunity he gets, he's not shying away from. He looks ready for it. And, and it's apparent why Cade believes that, we've heard rumblings, obviously that, he believes that they can be a great duo together. I definitely believe that the Cade Saddiq duo is something that should be feared in the Eastern Conference for a long time.
Bro, I mean, know why I'm chuckling? Because we're all sitting here saying, we're looking for who's going to be that second player. Who can we bring in? And
we might already have them legitimately
sitting here saying, bros, really? Like, I'm not sitting here? Whether we believe he can legitimately be that solid second player or not, that's what we're all sitting here talking about. The confidence, that intelligence that he has to say, nah, I want it. You should look at me as that player. I'm going to work for it as well. And that's one thing that Rod was talking about, is that Saddiq Bey is working and working and working like he wants to be as good as he can be, man. And that's awesome.
Yeah. I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect, man, because like I said, he's going to use that, to prove everybody, hey, man, he's been doing that since, before he got drafted, man. He felt like he had to prove himself. All the knocks they gave him during the draft, he's not athletic enough. And, all the stuff we hear about Keegan Murray right now, he's not athletic enough. He's only going to be this. He's just going to be a shooter in the corner and all of these things, man. And he used that as motivation and worked, man, and put that work in. I mean, within one season, we've seen him bring new aspects to his game. That's not easy for young players to do in one season.
Right.
So, like I said, you just got to respect this grind, man. And I got high hopes, man.
Well, he's been our most consistent player for the past 2 seasons, too.
Yeah.
He's been our most stable. I mean, you think of he's the only player that didn't deal with any injury, the one that wasn't sick during the COVID scare, like all that stuff. Like, he's just been a stable force for our franchise now for 2 years. And he allows the Pistons to go out and get anyone at any size, because we have a versatile defender like him, where you could go draft a guy, say, like Jaden Ivey, easy, who is a good player, easy, who I'm not directing this at anyone, easy. It's just, listen, man, like I just like Jaden Ivey. That's all.
Deuce.
What up, Deuce?
What up? What up, though?
Downtown Dukes.
What up, fellas?
Bro, we talking about Saddiq Bey, man. Is he gonna be a star? What you thinking?
Man, I'm watching these Boston Celtics, and I'm watching this guy named Jaylen Brown, and I'm like, interesting. That's all I'll say about that for now.
I like that, man. I like that. And it's similar to what King said. You must have been listening on the stream already, bro.
Man, what'd he say? Fill me in.
Jaylen
No,
Brown.
I was saying the same thing, man.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, I just literally just said the exact same thing, man. I like I said, you just look at that Boston team. It's not they have a couple of shooters around, but you got guys like Williams, you got guys like Marcus Smart. You know what I'm saying? You got all of these guys. They contribute specific things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We even got old man Al Horford contributing when he can. Oh, this guy. Piece of work right here.
It's easy, baby.
It's easy.
It's easy.
You guys hear me?
Real
Yeah, we got
Unfortunately,
bro.
yeah.
What's the word?
You gotta give us
Can
a
you hear
story,
us?
man.
First of all, easy, my guy. How are you doing, my man?
Easy. Why so serious, bro?
I don't think you can hear us.
Whoa. Okay, I don't think you're here. Yeah, he was like, yeah, that man looked like he was like he was on a mission. He was
Good night in here, man. You got to come back. I had a lot of takes that I want to scream at him about.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's got a litany of things. I mean, first of all, I know he just shied his camera away. We're talking about facial hair. We got Deuce over here looking like, man, he's doing his best Chance the Rapper cosplay right now. Dude.
Hey,
I like it.
I'm looking at King. I'm like, I gotta catch up, man.
Yeah, dude, I have the exact same thing. I mean, look.
So everybody's on that. Everybody's now on that K Cunningham scruff.
Yeah,
Everybody?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of us, all
Scruff season.
5 of us.
Scruff season.
Mhm.
Sean, just say my name and I appear like Candyman, motherfucker. What's good? Are you talking about?
Dude, I exactly. I said it 3 times like Beetlejuice. I was like, oh shit, this guy's here. I was like, here we go. I mean, oh my gosh, Chuck. Yes, I have shaved.
The
Okay,
K Crusader.
I have a
Crusader has
razor.
returned.
I have a razor in reaching distance. I don't know why, but I do. But anyway.
Oh my
I'm so
god.
lost right now.
That's why I'm like, come on, Chuck. I'm like, yes, I've shaved. Come on, man. Y'all act like I'm 16. I'm 25. Like,
Wait.
come on now.
Man,
Wait, you're not 16?
I thought it was like 19. No, it's fine.
Oh man, Ashton just quote tweeted the stream. Appreciate the love, man.
Hey,
Bro, that's what's
Hey,
up.
shout
That's
out
what-
Ashton.
I was just about to get into that. His no bandwagoners tweet, man, because
yeah.
you saw the score. The score, they put out this video that said that the Pistons, they're the next ones up.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you guys, what is it going to take for them to cash in on that prediction? Seriously.
Well, first of all, they're gonna have to make some moves this offseason, and they're gonna have to utilize this cap space over the next couple of years. I mean, they might be the NBA's next breakout team, but that doesn't mean it has to happen this season. I think they have to. First of all, Cade has to take that next step next year, which I think we all expect him to. I mean, Cade's gonna turn up. Like everything we're hearing about what they're doing this summer. I mean. I'm just excited. I hope we can get Ashton on the stream soon and have him talk about what they got going on this summer. But man, I'm just excited. I mean, I think we gotta get deeper I think we have to get more versatile as a team. I think we have to get a rim protector. And I think there's just, and we just need guys who can score the ball as well, So
Yeah.
there's just a litany of things that this team needs to do to get there. So
yeah. In the commenters, they're agreeing, man. They're saying we need size, sign Ayton, some inside presence. Yeah.
And I know guys like Jalen Duren, and I don't want to sound like I'm down on Jalen Duren. It's just in my opinion, you can go get a big that's just as good, if not better, than Jalen Duren in the free agency market. And I think you can also maximize your pick in getting a guy like Keegan Murray or one of those guards available, and also get a big this summer. So I just think if we get the pick at 7 and then you can also get Duren there, I think that's a conversation. But I'd also be open to getting if Shaedon Sharpe drops to 7, I would not say no to that. I think there's other guys that would be available that have more optimism or more eagerness to get. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, athleticism is another thing. I think that's 1B to size, which would be 1A in terms of things that we definitely need on the Pistons. I don't even remember the last time we've been an athletic team. Have we ever been an athletic team?
I don't know. We used to.
Nah, not really.
We used to have Kyle Singler and Jonas Jerebko. Those were athletic.
Christian Laettner.
When you got
Titans.
45-year-old point guards, you're not really going to be that athletic.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than Jaden Ivey, I know I've really been looking at Benedict Mathurin, man. Oh, hold on. All right, Sean. Yeah, take over, bro. Let's get our guest on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My guy, Easy. You've been talking about you've been talking about Jaden Ivey for a little while, and you have the agenda against smaller guards. I want to ask you, Easy, why the Pistons should not draft Jaden Ivey?
Why they shouldn't draft Jaden Ivey?
Yes.
I think you just want somebody with a more consistent shot than Jaden Ivey. I think, I like the point that you guys are saying, we need size. I definitely agree with that. I think we saw that throughout the season. I think more than anything, though, to be successful in this league right now, you need to shoot that 3 ball. You look at the 3 teams in 3-point percentage right now are the Pistons, the Thunder, and the Magic. What do they all have in common?
They're all at the bottom of the standings.
Yes, they're all in the lottery this year. You look at the teams at the top of the 3-point percentage. Boston, Miami, Warriors,
Golden State,
Milwaukee, Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like the teams that are winning right now, Dallas, they can shoot the 3 ball.
Right.
That's how this game is. It's how it is in this era. Athleticism is nice. It's beautiful to watch. And if there's one guy running the floor, being the athlete on it, I'm cool with that because he could do almost anything he wants to. So even if he's not shooting the ball, he can distribute the ball because he's going to bring extra attention down the paint. He can get somebody who could shoot the 3.
Right. But I just don't get this notion that Ivy can't shoot the 3. I think
he's inconsistent. It's irrefutable. In his first year, the reason why he came back to Purdue for his second year is because he knew he was inconsistent at shooting the 3 ball. We saw it this year. Yeah, he shot well in the beginning of the year, but what happened that second half of the season? 26%. On top of that,
but my question:
if you're going to be 6'4" in this league, you better be able to knock down that 3 consistently.
My question, Easy, though. First of all, we've seen plenty of guys at 6'3" or 6'4" succeed in this league. Yeah, I think
championship level. The only ones you can name me in this modern era: Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving.
Dwayne Wade,
6'5", whatever, but he has 7-foot wingspan as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I like
yeah.
But here's the thing, Easy. My question isn't the type of 3-point shot that Jaden Ivey is going to have this season going to be different than what he had at Purdue last year because of the fact that it's not going to be so reliant on him to be running the offense and doing everything. The fact that K can get him more open looks. Don't you think that those are the types of things that can lead to a more consistent 3-point shot?
Their offense truly ran through the center. Trey, whatever the hell his name is, I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. But he's just not good. Ball and then at 6'4" too. Look, man, I sound like I'm discrediting Jaden Ivey as an athlete and what he'll in the NBA, and I think he'll be amazing. I think he'll be extremely fun to watch. But in terms of championship basketball, that's just not the recipe. It's just not.
I just don't think we've just seen
Sean, I
enough
don't
players.
like it.
I just first of all, I just think you've seen. I just don't think we've seen enough guys like Cade Cunningham. I mean, sure, like you could go back and like there's a lot of guys in the 80s or 90s like Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. I mean, Troy Weaver compared Cade to Larry Bird. I just think that I just think Jaden Ivey has a lot in his toolbox. I think he's a lot that he can grow in and that he can do. And I think he's I think he's just the type of guy that we've passed on in the past and we've regretted. You know, I just think he has a lot of talent, a lot of upside, and has a lot in his game. I want to see more from him defensively. That's where I could say my genuine criticism and my concern is with him. But in my opinion, if Jaden Ivey's on the board at 5, I just have a hard time saying let's pass on him because
and
I think
I get it based off like again, like it's highlights. There's a reason like it's hard
it's
to
not highlights. It's not highlights.
It's
not highlight
because he doesn't go to his left. He'll have the left wide open and refuse to take it. And when he does go to his left, he'll still try to finish with his right. The fact that his mother is a coach, a high level coach, one that coaches high as the NBA with Memphis and John Morant, and then Notre Dame and won a championship herself with Detroit Shock. If he's still stubbornly trying to use that right hand, even going to the left, it's just I just don't.
His mom played basketball, so he should be able to dribble it with his left hand. Is that what you're saying?
John, his mom coached basketball at the highest level.
But but how many guys do we see in this league that can only go with one hand to start? We see guys who are all-stars who can only go with one hand.
Who?
Literally, first of all, R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. We saw both of those guys compete at high-level basketball.
Julius Randle were the examples you pulled up. Okay.
First of all, Julius Randle was an NBA All-Star last year
Randle was
and
an
won
All-Star.
Most Improved Player.
Julius Randle's nice. He's also 6'11", but okay.
Man,
I like this, man. I like this.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm like Michael
Hey,
Jackson.
bro,
Popcorn.
just real.
Be cold, but just not.
To the fam in the comments, man. Are y'all loving this or what?
Yeah, this is good stuff, man.
Look, I'm not taking the L on this, man.
I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting Jaden Ivey. He will be cold, but I want the Pistons to win a championship.
I do too. But you're saying that you can't win a championship if you draft Jaden Ivey. That's just simply not true.
It is very true, Sean. Give me an example of it. If you look at the archetypes, a 3-level scoring facilitator like Cade Cunningham and a slashing guard, that's never worked as a combo to win a championship. And if you do want to pull one out your ass, it's LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. You literally be asking
pull one out of my ass
to be LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, and even they didn't really be what they were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That the Spurs victory they got. Let's be honest. Shot.
But check it out, though.
Are you saying that it's a bad thing to have guys around Cade Cunningham that can put the ball in the basket? We're seeing guys literally right now. Look at the Boston Celtics literally right now.
They shoot the damn 3-ball. Yes, look at the Boston Celtics.
You also have guys on the Pistons that shoot the 3. We have Saddiq Bey.
You got a 6'6" guard and Jaylen Brown that can spread the
ball. Listen. Boston, they're not just winning because they shoot. They're not just winning because they shoot the ball, the 3-point.
No.
Well, like I said, the Boston Celtics have been incredibly inconsistent. Sure. It's other things and other traits that are getting them to the cup. The thing is, when Jaden Ivey at number 2 out there on the court playing shooting guard at 6'4", he's 6'4" playing shooting guard in this league today. It's not going to be easy for him. Let's just be honest. But I don't hate the kid. A lot of people think I do. I don't hate the kid. If we got him, I'll still be happy about it because it's at pick number 5. Let's just be honest about it.
Right.
But Jaden Ivey, I'm not going to go as far as to say if we get Jaden Ivey, we can't win the championship. I ain't going that far. I'm saying right now, bro. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I would like on everything. Like, it just won't happen, bro.
Slashers don't win championships. You hear it here first. There's never been a slasher in NBA history that's won an NBA championship.
Here's my thing. This is my thing with Ivey. And I feel you easy because you get those vibes a lot off of a lot of the fan base. It's highlight watching. It's what it sounds like. Because no way that you can watch those games and say he's consistent at anything. You know what I'm saying? He shoots wildly terrible shots as far as decision making. He's very questionable on the defensive end. Very questionable. So, like I said, all of these guys have some things that they need to work on. But there's nothing in my mind that says if we get a guy in Ivy that he couldn't make those improvements. I think Dwayne Casey is pretty good at developing guys. So, like I said, he may not have the returns right away for us, but I think he can definitely work at it, man, and give us something in the future, that could be a contributing factor to the team.
And one thing to
He
think
improved
about in
over
this
his time in
NBA
college.
with this type of space is how easily players of his skill set come in and take advantage of it. That is one thing you got to think about. Jaden Ivey in open space, Jaden Ivey with just one step on his on the defender, that's a dunk. We saw Jalen Green get busy when he got comfortable in the NBA. That's when we saw him that one step, that one cut, that one oop off the back, back cut, things like that. He's gonna get busy. Now, I do get scared at defense, how locked in he's gonna be. I do. But I feel like his ability in space, what his case reminds me of is Donovan Mitchell's. Coming into the draft process, there were a lot of questions about could he shoot. There was a lot of questions about his defense even. There was a lot of questions about him. But then he went to camp and had especially in his Detroit trial, he didn't miss a shot. And the Pistons said, we know what we saw on tape. We know what we saw from the year. We don't know if we can really, really trust this camp process right now, and it wound up burning him. He wound up actually being that player. And I'm not saying that you can just look at that situation and say that's how it's going to turn out, but you got to take a little bit of a pause with a person like Jaden Ivey, who is getting some talk from everyone's believing he's going to go solidly top 4. Now, if he's there on the board at 5, if it's him, if it's Keegan, if it's Mathurin, if it's Sharp, who are you taking?
Personally, I like it changes for me every day. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
like
true.
this class,
Yep.
I compare it.
Bro, I appreciate your truthfulness, bro. I really do.
I'm gonna be real, and I've tried to give everybody the opportunity to convince me of Jaden Ivey. I just don't see it. For me right now, though, my number one, at 5, if he's there, I'm taking Mathurin. I like the height. I like 6'7". It allows him to guard multiple positions. He can shoot the 3. He'll for sure spread the ball. He'll play off the ball as well, whether it's to the rim or again, a catch and shoot. I think he's got the aspirations to be great on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like a poor man's Jimmy Buckets, but with the 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He's got that dog mentality too.
Yep. And honestly, this takes us into our next topic. We sent everything out. We were talking about Benedict Mathurin. Is he underrated and why? We talked about him on Woodward Pistons podcast. I know, Sean, you and Jeff have been talking about him on From Half Court.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about him on the Table Talk as well because of the fact that we keep saying we don't talk about him enough. I know we had Sean Steve on last week or 2 weeks ago, who gave us a little bit of insight on Benedict Mathurin and getting the time to really kind of dive into more tape, dive into more footage, and not just looking at just the stats, but looking at the fact that he was really a different player by the end of the season than he was and to start the season. In the tournament, he just seemed to be a different animal. To close out games, he seemed to be a different animal. Now, Benedict Mathurin, he has some ups and downs. He has some bad shot selections. He gets lost in zone defense a little bit. But overall, when you're looking at these people, I do believe Keegan Murray is the safest pick. But I do believe that Mathurin and Ivy and Sharp, those 3 present the biggest upside, the biggest potential upside. But focusing in specifically on Mathurin, I want to get all you guys' opinions on it, man. Why is he underrated? And is he somebody worthy to go 5? Or is he someone like Rod Beers said? Rod said, I'm not looking at him at 5. But if we get that number 7 pick, definitely is Mathurin.
Yeah.
Is he somebody that should be at 5? Is he underrated there? Or is it 7, 8, 9, 10, his proper rank?
I personally
go ahead. No. You go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, I personally feel like he is underrated and overshadowed because of the nature of the Shaden Sharp situation. Everybody's like, is he a good player? Is he a bad player? Maybe he's a better player than Mathurin with more athleticism and a longer wingspan. So I think the possibility of Sharp, because we don't know what Sharp is. We don't know what he's going to be. So I think the possibility of him being better from an upside standpoint is what really overshadows somebody who actually has proven it in college.
Yeah, I think Benedict Mathurin with him, I definitely like a lot of what he brings to the table. And he's definitely a type of guy like very similar to Keegan Murray, where like I am fully confident that they could come in and contribute right away at the next level and be really solid players. I just think for me, when you're just looking realistically at where he's projected to go, where mocks have him. I mean, the top 3 of this draft is probably where the only consensus is. Everything else, it's murky from there. And so I think that's the thing is you have a lot of guys who are really talented, who are graded very similar to each other. But I think what it's going to come down to is those talents that you're going to have available on the board at 5. It could be guys like Shaedon Sharpe or Jaden Ivey who are seen as the upside, home run type picks that could potentially come in and contribute that way to your franchise. So in my opinion, I think Benedict Mathurin is definitely a guy that we should definitely keep our eye on. And if we end up with an additional pick in the first round, I think he's definitely someone that we could look at bringing in. I just think if we're being realistic right now, his name's just not being talked about at 5 a lot. I don't think internally, I don't think that's where they're looking. I just think that right now there's just guys right now that are going to be available that are just ranked higher. They just are. So,
but why? That's why I'm confused.
Well, I think some of it's just the perception of upside. And it's like I think Benedict Mathurin, I think he's just viewed as this guy who can just be a really good starter for a long time. Maybe not like an all-star, which like if that's what he is, that's not a bad thing at all. That's not a consolation prize. That would be a good pick. I think you've seen with guys like I think the way that you talk about or way that Sharpe's scoring ceiling has been talked about. It's that elite style that's compared to a Jalen Green of last year, right? I mean, Jaden Ivey, the way that he's talked about is a guard out of college, similar, I think, of like Kemba Walker or like a lot of these athletic guards coming out of college that have made a statement, right? So there's countless examples you can make, but I just think, with where we're at right now with just those players on the board, it's just hard to look anywhere else.
Yeah, I definitely see that, Sean. I think when I think about Mathurin, I think about KCP, prime KCP, somebody who can really come in right away and contribute, but not somebody who's going to be an all-star like you mentioned, an all-level player. But you got to ask yourself the question: do you think that you can win a championship with that type of player? When we look at KCP, has he won a championship?
Yeah.
Where did he win that? The Lakers.
He's had a record.
Was he an all-star?
Nope.
Well, sure, absolutely. Was he an all-star? He was not an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
He was a player who played his role extremely well and who did not play outside of his scope. So I think you can win with that type of player. But if your expectation levels for him to be more, then that's when you run into trouble.
Right. And I think my mindset is you're looking at where the Pistons are and you're talking about 3-point shooting, but also I think you're just looking at when you're in the position that the Pistons are, when you're at that point of the lottery, you're not at a point where you're drafting for fit. You're at a point where you're drafting for who's the best player on the board, and it's about getting the most talented player next to Cade Cunningham. Obviously, you want to get a guy that fits next. And I'm not saying you ignore fit. I'm not saying you just leave fit completely on the table. Obviously, we're not drafting a guy who's exactly like Cade. We have Cade. But like what I'm saying is that you're still in a position where you want to get the best guy available on the board. You just do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, B.
No, I was just gonna echo that sentiment. I know right now the Pistons are in a position where they're saying they want talent. Right now, unless you're playing Cade's position and he needs a backup, they're looking to draft whoever is the most talented guy that they can get. Why? Because even if that player doesn't work out for them there, we've seen other teams be able to go and flip those players for more picks later.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out for them to be able to go right now while they can pick whoever they want and then still have, like John Hollinger said with their clean cap sheet, the ability to go out there and sign, the adverse player that they obviously to complement the player that they would have drafted. So they're in a pretty safe predicament right now. I don't even believe that Troy Weaver is looking at this draft the way that any of us are. I believe he's looking at the fact that he has capital, assets, free agency, draft, and however these dominoes fall, I believe he
Mhm.
knows exactly what he's going to do.
The way I picture Troy Weaver is I just picture he has a picture of Keegan Murray on his cell phone, and like he just pulls up his lock screen, and he's just like, "Soon, my child, soon." Because it's like as much, no matter what I feel about it, no matter like, because at the end of the day, if you're asking me who do I picture being a Detroit Piston at the end of the night, it just feels like Keegan Murray's gonna be that. It just feels like who's the Detroit Piston pick? It's Keegan Murray.
He is the most Troy-esque of the players.
Yeah, if you're asking who's the Troy Weaver guy, it's Keegan Murray.
Can I think to? Oh, go ahead. I apologize.
Real quick. I'm just gonna say we all know Sacramento's. So what if they grab Keegan? What if they were? What you never know with the Kings, right? What if they grab?
Well, I feel
Keegan?
like they should. In my opinion, that's their pick. That should be their pick. If you're asking me, like to be the Kings general manager, it should be Keegan Murray because that would be a guy that could help them potentially win some games right now, which is what they're looking to do. And he could potentially replace Harrison Barnes on their lineup for years to come. I just think, and again, my argument for not just Ivy, but also even Sharp as well, you need more guys who can score the basketball. You need people that can put up 15, 20 points. We are a team that is deprived of scoring, and you need guys that can put the ball in the basket.
Shout out to King.
Yeah, I thought you were frozen, King.
Yeah, I gotta stop. I'm just listening. I'm listening, letting everybody, do their thing, man. Like I said, I honestly, just like Sean said, I don't think, these execs in the NBA are thinking anywhere like a lot of us fans, are thinking about these players. I can't,
for sure.
I can't really have someone look me in the face and tell me that there's leaps and bounds difference between Mathurin and Ivy. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you the athleticism and the abilities they have, it's no leaps and bounds different. So when you're speaking about upside and all that, we always talk about high floors and ceilings and garages and cars and everything else. Listen, man. Like I said, Keegan Murray seems like a Troy Weaver type of pick. But when you look at it, he does fit. He fits Sacramento better. If you're talking about winning now, he fits, he's the older guy out of them all. You know what I'm saying? So he probably comes and contributes a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? But this is the Kings we're talking about. The Kings are idiots. Everyone knows this. So when it comes to guys like Mathurin, Keegan Murray, you got your I said, good Lord, Ivy fans out there. A lot of Ivy fans out there. I only had one issue with one group, and that's the Shaden Sharp group. Okay, the Shaden Sharp thing, man.
What's your take on that?
Great high school player. Great high school player. Like I said,
I'm not going to disrespect this high school.
Right. I wanted to see something with the lights on. You went to Kentucky, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see him when the lights are on. In high school, it's not the hardest thing. We've seen a lot of people be that guy in high school, and then they just couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen this plenty of times. So, we ain't talking about LeBron-esque in high school. This is Shaden Sharp in high school. You know what I'm saying? This is different. So, like I said, this Shaden Sharp thing, man.
And Jeff was like, why should he be penalized for not necessarily playing that year? And I was like, because we did see that guy play that year, Andy Monty Bates, and that luster quickly fell off quickly. Like fast. If we're not looking at that example there and at least saying, you know what, let's make sure we fully investigate Shaden Sharp before we just throw the bag, in the future and he's this and he's that. Because I said this. Nobody is drafting Shaden Sharp just to be a role player, just to be a bench player. If you're going to draft a guy that has not played college ball, only has high school film on tape, and you're going to take him 5th or higher, if you're going to take him top 10, you're drafting him because you believe he's going to be a star.
Right.
Flat out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's why I'm higher on Ivy than Sharp, because with Ivy, at least I know his pros and cons, and I've seen him play games, and I've watched him play basketball.
Conversation, I would agree. Yeah, for sure. If it's
more difficult with Sharp and Mathurin.
The thing for me was Sharp, real quick, if I may, and I'm not like Sharp's. I'm confused on how to feel about him because there is tape out there. There's some AAU tape you can watch, and I'll send to you guys or wherever you want to see it. But like the thing with a guy like that, 49-inch vertical is there, a 7-foot wing split is there. If you watch the tape, he has a step back three. I mean, he's creating it himself and knocking it down. With a facilitator like Cade and a coach like Casey, you kind of can mold him into what you want him to be because he's so raw and he does have the basic skill set, you know what I'm saying? Along with elite traits in terms of athleticism. So that's, I think, is like the lust for him. For me, when I try to break it down, it's just like you can truly mold him into what you want to be. If you want to be a catch and shoot guy, if you want to be Jaylen Brown, you can almost mold him into a Jaylen Brown type dude. You know what I'm saying 6'5", 7-foot wingspan. He can shoot the ball. Like that's where I see it, but 100%, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I think King made a good point because I always bring up the argument. Kobe out of high school, LeBron out of high school, KG out of high school, Dwight Howard out of high school, a lot of high school names, but he wasn't LeBron in high school. And I think that's a great point, King, because that was my argument. I always say, oh, yeah, these guys came out of high school. But you're right. He wasn't LeBron in high school. He wasn't. He was a number one recruit. Yeah, but we weren't. He was a Zion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, he's not even Deion Harris right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shaden Sharp ain't all over TV. You know what I'm saying? In magazines.
All in the videos.
Yeah.
Like,
I see a lot of my drafts have him between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a lot of these have him top 5. So like you guys said, he didn't come with the same hype at all, same impact at all.
Yeah. And King, like, you're the one that made it click for me just now because I was high in him because again, I think Casey can mold him and he does have like these great traits, but you're right. He wasn't. Even Amani was super high out of high school and he wasn't what he was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's sketchy. It's definitely sketchy.
He has a chance to there he is.
Wait, where did
Mr. Jeff?
Where did Kool-Aid go?
I don't know. I think the K Crusader.
Wait, K Crusader, why do you have your name tag as Detroit Kool-Aid?
Oh, I kicked him to the curb, man. I took off.
Okay. Just gotta make sure.
Yeah, that K Crusader voice.
Yeah, we gotta get you in here, bro. I think for me it's Sharp. Yeah. I think he has the ability to be great. I think the one thing just from watching film on him is his motor. Sometimes he just seems so disengaged.
He's in high school, man.
I understand that.
I just want to tell you.
If I'm playing against a bunch of high school kids, I can have a motor. That makes you think he's going to be great.
It's just the lackadaisical spirit. He doesn't seem to always be engaged.
I agree.
That's one thing that I'm worried about. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Other than that, I think he's got the whole package.
They don't understand the K Crusader.
I looked down.
Jeff knows.
I do.
Jeff,
I found out. I found out.
No. Watch the last Woodward Pistons podcast.
I want to
Jeff Freddy.
I want to let him know, by the way. I want to let him know, by the way. I literally, King's like, I have a problem with these Shaden Sharp people. Within 20 seconds, I get a text on my phone. Yo, send me a link. I'm coming in. I'm like, Jeff, I'm afraid he's ready to go.
No, it's not even like I'm ready to go, to be honest, because I've been saying this. I like Sharp, but to King's point, and he made a great point, actually. I was listening before I joined about, executives not giving a damn what we have to say. And that's so true. Like, you think Troy Weaver's listening to what I have to say about Shaden Sharp? Hell no. But he's someone that I enjoy watching, and I would love a backcourt with him and Cade Cunningham. I get the criticisms of him playing against high school players, but you can't deny if he played for Kentucky, he'd be a top 5 pick. I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree. But again, what do I know?
Well, it's Troy Weaver. I mean, we've taken a selfie together, so I know he's listening to me.
Oh yeah, you guys are tight. You guys are tight.
Can I ask something real quick too about the Keegan Murray stuff that you were saying about the Kings, Sean?
Yeah.
I feel like every reason you made for Keegan Murray being a fit with the Kings fits alongside with the Pistons, whether it's replacing Jeremy Grant.
But I think, but what I think the difference is though is that with the Kings specifically, they have a guy like De'Aaron Fox who plays so similarly to the style of Jaden Ivey that like if you draft Jaden Ivey, But okay, but are you telling me that Cade Cunningham and De'Aaron Fox are anywhere comparable as how they play the game of basketball?
He's supposed to be an off-ball guy.
Jeff, these two, man.
Hey, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I love you.
Listen, y'all better get ready. It's gonna be a Cade and Ivy backcourt, man. And a lot of
and I'm cool with it.
I'm cool. A lot of alley-oops to Andre Drummond. Look at easy face.
Because you have to mentally prepare yourself for whoever the pick is. And if you're looking at it realistically, it's Jaden Ivey. Like if I'm a GM, that's the pick. Like that or Keegan Murray. That's the most realistic. This isn't 2K where you go out and you take a Shaden Sharp. Oh God, we got Adam Baydoun is in the building, and he is disgusted with what he's hearing.
Wrinkles. You guys looking good.
I mean, this man also said after the Warriors won Game 2, the finals was over.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam took that one on the chest. Sorry.
That's not how basketball works.
He took it on the chest by not talking about the game at all this morning on the morning show. I'm just kidding. I love you, Adam. I love you. Oh my gosh, I'm just giving you crap.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Oh man, but anyway, no, I listen. And the thing is like the reason why it sounds.
Wait.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa! Hey, yo! Okay. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Adam Baydoun in the building. We're talking about anger translator. Those are words that Kool-Aid I don't think could ever mutter out of his mutter out of his mouth. I think in all seriousness, though, the reason why you get so like analytical on these guys and why we get so nitpicky on their games is because when you are comparing, like you said, because it's not leaps and bounds between Jaden Ivey and Benedict Mathurin. That's why we have to get nitpicky when we have these kinds of conversations because, because honestly, you're going to be lucky to get any of these guys. Like say what you will about what Easy thinks about Jaden Ivey or even what I think about certain guys. But like at the end of the day, they're all talented. They're all being positioned in the top 5 of the draft for a reason. So for me, at the end of the day, Adam says, if you guys have the opportunity to pick between Ivy and Murray, for me, I'm going for the upside of what Ivy has to offer.
Retweet.
I think
retweet that upside, baby.
I'm going for the upside of what Ivy has to offer, and I think he also can come in and be really solid now. And I think him and Cade can really work together.
I'm the black sheep. I'm going with Murray.
Murray's been his guy.
I don't want to hear nothing about floors, ceilings, living rooms, basement. I don't want to hear nothing about Murray. Yeah, I'm not, bro. Listen, we trying to add to Cade right now. I'm not trying to hear about no damn ceilings. You know what I'm saying? I listen, Murray all around is the only one that's leaps and bounds more proven than them other dudes. When you ask me, from what I've seen. So he's a little bit older. He fits right in with the timeline. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about the Ivy and Murray thing. Either you're going to take Murray or you're going to take Ivy.
And that's not crazy. That ain't crazy.
Yeah, no. The thing, too, for me is the whole, Ivy thing, again, it just comes to shooting for me. If I had any faith in him shooting the ball consistently, I'd be down with it. But even then, even his upside, the guys at 6'4" winning championships knocked down that 3-ball.
They were within 2% of each other this past year in college for shooting beyond the arc. Keegan Murray and Jaden Ivey.
Keegan Murray.
They were within 2% of each other from beyond the arc.
Once multiple positions and spread the floor.
Yeah, Keegan Murray's got a beautiful jump shot too, man. Like that thing, that thing don't translate. Like,
who shot the ball more between the two?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good question.
Yeah, let me look it up.
That'd be even better into this argument.
Difference.
But regardless, I mean, you're going with Keegan. I mean, he's bigger, and you say you're the black sheep, but in reality, I think a lot of GMs think like you. Like that's a logical way of thinking. Looking at both these players, like he can guard more positions. Like guys like him, and especially in the East, who you have to defend. I mean, it makes sense.
There's really an argument for the way.
He shot more threes.
Ivy shot more threes.
He made more?
Really?
Or attempted more? Yeah. Well,
he attempted more.
So
yeah.
Definitely
attempted around the same.
Murray shooting wise was absolutely a beast.
This past year.
What was Ivy's?
Well,
Ivy's was 30
with the ball in his hands.
Ivy's was 36%. Right. Keegan Murray's was 39%.
Yep,
that's a big difference.
And Murray in many different.
It's a big difference. It's 3%.
It's a big difference. Murray 39. That's a big difference. That is a big difference.
Murray overall shooting the ball in a lot of different situations was just highly efficient. There wasn't a place literally on the floor that you could say, you know what, he can't shoot from. But with Ivy, you look at his heat map, you can pick a lot of different places on the floor and say he will be limited here. And that's one of the biggest differences I like Ivy's athleticism in the NBA, but shooting wise, hey, bro, give me Murray.
Get Adam out of here, man.
Oh my gosh.
And real quick too to the town thing.
What is happening?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Adam. Like, bro, like we're really gonna mull over 3%?
3% is a big difference.
Like, one's
Yeah,
this
I mean,
marks,
with the
they're within
percentage-
3% of each other. One's this marksman. One's this
Yeah,
inconsistent,
God,
clumsy
hold on,
bum
hold on.
from the
Yeah,
other
I would
guard.
give you that.
Get
but
out of here.
Keegan Murray also
It's
takes
just
much
not
better shots.
true.
Ivy
Hold on.
takes the most irresponsible shots I've ever seen in my
King-
life, man. That's the
Yes,
difference.
That's
he's
what I'm
had
talking about.
questionable
That's
But
what
I'm
hold
talking
on.
about.
Yes, that has been a weakness of his. But again, if
Absolutely.
we're talking about putting him alongside Cade Cunningham, he's not going to be in the position where he's going to have to create that kind of offense for himself on a consistent basis. We're talking about the
John.
fit. We're talking about what he's going to be able to do.
John.
Offense will be able to come easier. Will it
John,
not?
And that's something we haven't seen him do.
Sean, is Ivy going to be okay with sitting in the corner is a compliment to Wayne Casey?
Listen, man. He doesn't have much of a choice.
Who,
He's
you
getting
said
drafted.
Ivy?
Yeah, I
top
don't
five.
You said Ivy?
think it's fair to
I don't
say
think
that
he will be
won't
sitting in the corner though.
Ivy
He's
wouldn't
not
be
gonna be
that.
sitting in the corner. Exactly.
Listen, we talked about
Yeah.
this. We talked about this,
I
Jeff. We talked about this one. He
Guys
wasn't
want to
good.
play with Cade
Frank
Cunningham,
Jackson.
man.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
These guards came here. Some of these guards that Troy Weaver brought in, they came here, and they're the reason why I'm actually kind of excited about Ivy. Frank Jackson wasn't supposed to do nothing, but he came here and he got busy with just a little bit of time and a little bit of belief, a little bit of direction. He didn't just stand in the corner. We saw him say, yo, you're going to give me the rock in the corner. I actually might sauce you. I actually might dribble, drive, get to the rack, and I actually might dunk sometimes. And yes, I'm also a three-point shooter. You know, if Ivy can come here and work within, like I keep saying, that NBA space and do what some of these other guards have had the opportunity to do, he becomes instantly the best guard, the best two guard or wing player realistically you can put on the court next to Cade, save for Saddiq Bey. He's instantly going to be better than Hamid, than Killian, than Frank, than any of these other guys. And you look at his athleticism, guys. Look at his athleticism. I'm serious. If Frank Jackson can come here and average 10, 12 points a game, good three-point
talking
shooter.
about it's the NBA. He's not going to be going to the rim dunking on everybody. What are y'all talking about?
Oh, he is, dog. No. We see young, we see weak players do that. Bro, we see weak players do this. We see weak players do this. They go to the rack in this NBA space and they don't. We saw Saddiq do it.
I don't see all this.
Like your biggest players dunking on somebody.
Yeah. Tristan Thompson.
You give an athletic player space, they're going to dunk. We don't got that, so we don't know what it look like.
But that's not what the championships though.
We never had that.
That's not what the championships though.
I'm telling you, bro,
Hold on. Hey, but look at Boston right now. They have athletes, man.
They do.
Defensively, they are dogs. Defensively, they are dogs.
Boston just dunking all over everybody.
But Jaden's not.
Did you watch last game?
Hold up.
Just Jalen Brown was getting busy. Remember that alley-oop pass from Jason?
Who's the biggest person on Golden State?
That's what. So what? Is Golden State the only team built like Golden State now?
Yeah, Golden State is special.
Come
What
on, man.
conference do we play in?
Thank you.
We play East.
What conference do we play in?
Jason
what
Tatum.
Conference do we play
size,
in?
bro.
So wait, so Keegan Murray is going to be the answer to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No,
KD.
No, but he's
like,
actually.
what are we saying, man? Come
Why
on.
would a rookie be the answer to Giannis?
No. I'm saying that's a bad argument to make because defensively
No.
he's not going to be that guy.
Who would rather have guard Giannis? Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey?
No, neither. I'm not going to ask Jaden Ivey to guard him.
Keegan though.
Huh?
But you had to pick one. The answer is Keegan.
Well, are you saying defensively?
You got to pick one of them to guard. You got to give him the assignment of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Bro, listen. First of all,
no.
What I'm saying.
Troy Weaver is not going to put him in a position to have to consistently guard him.
You're saying like
you talking about a rookie guard.
Look,
then we talking about championships.
Who is the biggest? Hold on, wait a minute. Who is the biggest free agent prospect right now on the radar for the Detroit Pistons?
Zach LaVine.
No, Phoenix. That's who we would. That's the kind of player we're trying to go after the guard deep. The guard Giannis. Yeah, we're looking for that guy to guard him. We're not going to say, well, it's between Keegan and Jaden Ivey. We're picking
You were saying Keegan can't guard Giannis.
I'm not even a real fan. I'm not even a real fan of Ayton like that. Ayton to me, I'm not even a real fan of Aiden. Like Aiden to me is a little bitch on defense.
No. I won't go there because 2 years ago when they played in the finals, he was stopping them, but he held his ground.
He's a bitch at times on defense. I'm not gonna sit here and just give it all the flowers. I'm gonna just straight up. From what I seen, he disappears sometimes. On the biggest
stage against the best player, he didn't.
I'll say this to Aiden. I don't even want to talk about Aiden.
Get no bigger than that,
dude.
If you play the best player in the finals, you on the biggest stage.
He got a point.
He didn't stop him.
He got a point.
Nobody's gonna stop him. Yeah. But he did better than just about anybody could do against him outside of Bam Adebayo.
That's fair.
Let's be real.
I just want to sprinkle this in real quick because I was trying to say this earlier, but I had to watch the show I got in front of me here. But I was gonna say Jason Tatum shot 34% in college, so I don't look at 3-point percentages. I look at their jump shot, and he had a pretty jump shot. And Keegan Murray, that's why you look at his jump shot. Keegan Murray, that thing going. You got a clip. It's gonna be 40% in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I don't pay too much attention to the percentages, even with Jaden Ivey, like 34%, man. Like Jason Tatum, look at the shooter he is now. You would have never guessed it.
Percentages you have to take with a grain of salt. You have to look 100%. At the foundation of the jump shot. And even then, we've seen players like Lonzo Ball with a broken jump shot come in and actually be one of the better 3-point shooters for his team. So, it's just
1 year.
What's that?
Jason played 1 year. Like, he was one and done.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, like youngest, essentially, like, Shaden Sharp coming into this draft.
Bro, how many times is Sekou going to come up in this chat?
Sekou.
It's the same dude saying Sekou. But let me say this.
Y'all got to let it go, dog. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all got to let it go.
Yeah. Sekou.
I mean, real talk. It is between Ivy and Murray. It is what we've all been saying. Murray is the safe pick. He got all the skills, all the tools. Ivy is a guy that if you're picking him, and I know King hates hearing this, if you're picking him, it's because of a potential of upside. Mm-hmm. You just believe this guy has a little bit more skills that you can't teach, a little bit more things you can't teach. The speed, the athleticism, the foot speed, those things you can't teach a guy. And I don't think that Keegan is ever going to get that. He's just not a fast person. But yeah, I think, bro, Ivy, Murray, that joint is beat.
Man, I'd be happy with either.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to wear the jersey of whoever we get, and I'm going to support the living heck. And listen, whoever we have, I mean, it's one of those things where, this is a situation where, we're not drafting for the immediate fit of this year. We have to draft for the long-term build of this team. Because, I mean, Adam's to his point, realistically, you see stars when they win championships or when they start winning championships is in their mid to late 20s. I mean, Cade Cunningham just turned 21. Yep. So he's 21, 22 years old. So it's one of those things where it's definitely going to take time until we're truly talking championships. But I think for now, like that's why I say, you're not in a position to draft for fit. You're in a position to draft the best player available because we're in the lottery for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I want to touch on that for sure. I agree with him. I think 4 to 6 years is the timeline. Yeah. I look at a team like Boston, who is now in the finals. I was just watching an interview yesterday with Marcus Smart, and he was talking about, I've been playing with Jason Tatum for 4 years. I'm playing with Jaylen Brown for 5 years, and we're here, but we had to build. So I feel like we're in a similar stage to where they were, but 4 or 5 years ago. I think we don't need to rush the process right now.
Tell this fan base that. You better not. They will eat you alive.
Hey, man.
I'm still hoping for Jabari Smith. I am Allen Humphrey. I am. Some way, somehow.
That's all they do for me with the Keegan stuff. Is like everybody was so in love with spreading the floor with Chet and Jabari, and when it comes to Keegan, I was like, might be too good for us to take right now. Oh no, don't want to spread the floor anymore. Let me get that guard.
Okay, but you're leaving out that he's younger, more efficient. Taller. You're leaving out like the key ingredients of this recipe here. Like,
but the ingredients where he spread the floor, right? Like,
okay, so just because he spreads the floor, I'm taking him at 5. Come on, dude. You look at upside. That's the most important part. So Keegan Murray, I'm good with it, but you can't compare Jabari Smith Jr. and the guy was the best player on the best team in college basketball for most of the year. Like, and he's a freshman. Like, that's an accolade. I don't think Keegan had.
For the floor, right?
That was a monster.
but he spreads the floor. So it's like,
Yeah,
hey, Shaden Sharp spreads the floor. No, I'm just joking.
Here you go.
I don't want to trigger people. I don't want to trigger people.
But no, I mean, honestly, if you were going to list off things you did, spreading the floor and shooting a three would come out of your mouth. Just saying. That's two things that Keegan Murray can do.
Sheesh. Bro, you know what?
He's not sexy enough, man. He's
That's
not.
what I'm saying.
He's not jumping. He's not jumping, putting his butt in the rim, and all these exciting things that these other guys, can provide. So yeah,
King, bro. Look, to your point, when I did look more intently at Keegan Murray, I saw shades of Saddiq Bey. And if Detroit can make Saddiq Bey look like a better and a different player than college, then Keegan Murray is somebody that if they pick him, we shouldn't be saying, oh, he's slow-footed. Oh, all he can do is shoot threes. Oh, he ain't got no handle.
You know who else was slow-footed?
These are the things we said about some. These are the questions facing Saddiq Bey.
Al Horford is slow-footed. He's still slow-footed. Even older now, he's slow-footed, and he's still contributing to winning.
Basketball players are basketball players.
Yeah.
Adam, where's these kind of compliments for me? Where's my self-esteem boost, Adam? Where's my? You're like, oh, Jeff looks professional, Kool-Aid, sexy AF. Oh, fuck Sean. I'm like, ow. I just love picking on Adam when I get the chance. But anyway, no, man, and again, I just want to remind people, we're having all these arguments, we're getting tense about it. We have to remind ourselves, this is such a good problem to have, that we're in a situation, because King, like, we can all agree, like, again, even if we're not a big fan of certain prospects, these guys are all talented, and we're walking away with one of the best players in this draft. And anyone we get at 5 has the potential to be the best player in this draft. So, every single one of these guys are going to have legitimate holes and things in their game that they can all develop. Even Keegan Murray, who we've all said is like probably like the one guy who's like the strongest all around. He's going to have areas he's going to have to grow too. So, apparently, easy. I mean, Spencer's given us a lot of reasons why.
Bro.
What?
This guy's dropping all sorts of stuff. Eats mild salsa. Eats hot sauce in the fridge. Can't draft him.
I would be thrilled with you though. The sensible pick, if we had to say a winner, it is King on this one there, man. I know people don't want to hear it. Go back and look at the footage of Keegan Murray. The dude's a hooper. I know he's not the most exciting player, but the dude is a hooper. Who is this?
I just want Jeremy Grant.
Oh no. Oh no.
You come in disrespectful.
Oh no, hold on.
Oh no.
Yeah, you said you come in disrespectful. Already on a bad footing.
We already know who it is. It's my guy. It's Adam Bey, dude. It's It's the monster. There he is. That magnificent bastard. Look at that hair.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
God, look at that hair. So beautiful.
What's up?
There he is.
His hair never moves, bro.
What's up?
Let's do it.
Dude,
His hair never moves. His hair never moves.
What's up?
His hair never moves, bro.
What's up?
And
I
somebody
can
mute him.
hear it all back on Adam's device, too. This is great.
Oh, shit. All right, now I hear him correctly.
Doesn't, bro.
How's it going,
I was in
man?
the chat like Jeff's so fucking
Good,
professional. I
Mr.
love
Adam.
it. Kevin with the
Oh,
echo.
bro. I'm chilling.
Oh.
I'm actually prepping for the show right now, but Sean sent me a link. I'm like, fuck it.
do it.
Yes, sir.
I'm the culprit.
What's
He
up,
was
baby?
like,
Hey,
Well,
you
he
guys
was
are
like,
crushing
"Give
it
me the
though.
link
Real
right
talk,
now."
you guys are fucking crushing. I love it. Good shit.
I appreciate it,
Good
bro.
Good shit. I was enjoying it.
Appreciate you, man.
I was enjoying it. I'm an asshole, by the way. 1, I wasn't following Deuce. 2, I didn't even subscribe to Woodward
It's all good,
Pistons.
bro.
You did.
I haven't been on my personal YouTube channel in like God knows how long, so I apologize.
Oh, man.
No, man.
You made up for it.
I
You
love
made
it.
up for it.
bro.
Hey,
Hold on.
he's
I
subscribed to
forgot.
From Half Court, though.
I think I'm subscribed there, probably.
You better double check.
You're like, I
I'm
don't
pretty
really
sure I
want-
am because like Sean was bitching about it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I called it. I was like,
I'm not subscribed.
Adam,
He's
I'm
not.
not subscribed. I'm subscribing right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Heavyweights at least now.
Oh, get them all. Get them all. Make sure you get 'em all.
Everybody. Why you got it?
Oh my god.
My bad. My bad.
Hey,
So we
it's
trading
all-
Jeremy Grant or what?
It looks that way. Oh,
Looks
this
that
guy.
way with the Keegan Murray pick.
Oh.
Everybody picking Keegan Murray. Seems that way.
Oh,
Wait, we got the K Crusader. He's
man,
back.
you want to know the awkward part? You want to know the really awkward part about me being so trade Jeremy Grant like focused
Hey, boss.
is I'm like decent
Over
friends
sports,
with like one of
nothing,
his
man.
like PR managers, and to events that he's hosting. Like he's a really good dude out in public. Obviously, does a lot of good charity work, and I always feel like an asshole when I go and say, "Yeah, they got to fucking trade Jeremy Grant. He's a fucking number 3."
Yeah, the
And,
guy was like, I love being in Detroit. I want
I
to
think
work
she
here
blocked
and
me.
do
I don't
this
know. I have
thing."
to check my Twitter. I don't know. I get so many notifications now. Like people telling me to go fuck myself and stuff. Like I don't have time.
She might have heard your I got a
Half of those are
baseball
mine,
bat in
by
the
the way, my
closet for
bad.
Grant take.
Yeah,
She might have been
Grant,
like, "Damn."
Russell Westbrook. Who else is on my shit list right now? Grant,
You
Russell
got a couple
Westbrook,
bats in there, dude.
and Alavila. But Alavila needs
Cade-
to get on a diet first. He's gonna kill
Cade
himself. I
McNamara,
don't do
too.
Shit.
Don't forget about Cade McNamara. You got
Oh
a
yeah,
McNamara.
Cade McNamara. That's on there always.
Where's the draft pick?
God damn.
Oh my god.
Telling you, hey,
Oh,
boss. Hey, K Crusader Woodward Sports shirt. You guys can
Dude.
get this at
I
woodwardsports.com.
love it. I love it.
Kool-Aid, don't lie. You sleep in that, don't you? Don't even lie, man.
What?
You sleep in that, don't you?
Bro, I don't even like Batman.
How much you drinking, man? What do you
They got a mug. Damn.
Adam,
Oh man.
Adam, am I crazy
Oh,
about Jaden Ivey, dude? These guys make me sound like the way that they're talking about him. It's making me feel like I'm watching a guy who has like a leg that he's dragging behind him, is blind when
we?
he's trying to shoot the three.
No,
No, I'm not
No,
saying
it's-
Jeff.
it's
I'm not
about-
saying
it's
Jeff.
about
I'm not
even.
blaming you.
It's not that we don't like him. It's just that people make it seem like he's just.
You can
leaps and
prefer
bounds better
Keegan
than
Murray.
other people.
Yeah, it's okay. Like you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
prefer other prospects. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But the Boston Celtics are like the trending conversation right now. How do you build a team like Boston? And well, it's easier said than done, right? Jaylen Brown was a project. He was a high upside guy that couldn't shoot the basketball, was iffy on the dribble, and hey, you know what? He's got high upside. He's super athletic and he's lengthy, and he worked out. To his credit, he worked out. He's 22 points a game in the playoffs right now. It's a big deal. Can play defense.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics also owned like a top 5 pick for the last 4 years while getting to the conference finals. Like it's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Thank the Nets.
that's
Yes.
a little different. What I would say is no matter who they take at number 5, it doesn't matter for the next 2 to 3 years unless you land another Cade Cunningham, which I don't think you're going to. In the last 20 years, LeBron, Luka, and how many other players just walked into the league? Wade, they just dominated. John Morant, where they just came in, they were a walking bucket, and you knew right away they were superstars. That doesn't happen every year.
Right.
So whoever you draft, especially let's say it's Jaden Ivey or it's that kid, I forget his name. God damn, it starts with an M. Mathurin, I think, is how you say his
Benedict
name.
Mathurin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether it's him, these are project guys. It's going to take 3-4 years before you know they're an all-star. And then probably by year 5, year 6, they're going to become a star or superstar. Cade, we all know, is going to be a star and a superstar. So you got that figured out. But in those 4 to 5 years, you can figure out how you're going to guard Giannis, how you're going to guard and deal with Jason
Right.
Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You have time. You can go get wing and D defenders in the draft next year. Like this is not you're going to draft. And again, unless you draft the next Dwayne Wade at 5, you're probably not in the playoffs this year. It's a young team. Killian Hayes ideally is a good 6th man, but who knows what his agent's going to do with him in a few years, and who knows how he develops. The
Right.
team is so young. Dwayne Casey, in my opinion, is just a stopgap coach. He'll be here for a few years, and then when the team's ready to take that next step and try to get out of the second round, that's when they'll make their move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
2 with the 6-7 guys, more than just like having a guy guard Giannis. It's also having a guy create that same problem for other teams.
Yeah, you can't guard Giannis with one guy. Like you got, it's called building a wall.
Yeah, you gotta guard
Yeah,
my
yeah.
players.
It's team defense, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you think about a team like Boston, team defense. That's
do
who,
that.
That's exactly what they did to get here. They were down 3-2 in that series and came back and won a game in 7 games.
Is it me or does nobody talk about their coach? Like nobody.
Ime Udoka, yeah, literally.
Even in the finals, it's like, oh yeah, like this guy, what a story. And it's like, no, this dude took over mid-season for a team that couldn't play offense or defense. And since then, they've had the #1 defensive and offensive rating in the NBA. That's fucking stupid.
Yep.
Jason Tatum's a totally different player underneath him too. Like I've seen him become more of a facilitator now than he ever was. And I feel like that's
bought in,
man. Difference, guys.
If you get your players to buy in and you see the confidence all those players play with, that makes a good head coach. Like you can name, I can give 3 off the top of my head: Steve Kerr, Ime Udoka, Monty Williams. What do all 3 of those teams have in common? Every player that plays has confidence, man. They all have confidence. So good, hell of a job by him. Hopefully that's kind of the ideal situation. But they've been close the last couple of years too. They've been sniffing, close, game 7s with LeBron. Like they were almost there. Ime Udoka just brought that mentality to take him over the top.
And as soon as LeBron left, here comes Giannis. So yeah, you're right. And I think with Ime Udoka, like you said, instilling confidence. You think of a guy like Jaylen Brown. He's been every year he seems to be just a bit sporadic, but this year he seems to really have that consistency for once. And I was watching the press conference last night. He says, I can get by my guy at will. Whoever you put in front of me, I can get by him. He wasn't saying that before. That confidence wasn't there. It may have been a silent confidence, but he's not afraid to show it now.
But he seems a little bit more cool, calm, and collected this year. And honestly, to Sean's point, he's been saying Celtics are that team. Celtics are that team. And he's been saying it's because of not just Tatum and Brown, but also Smart. Forming this big 3, I didn't foresee Marcus Smart really being that formidable. Hey, a good player, sure. But a solid third to Tatum and Brown, that's been something that you can't look past.
Yeah, and it's not just where they get either.
Right. It's like they dig Horford out of mothballs. That I don't get. I don't quite understand that, man. Old as dirt, but he's still putting it in. It must be the Michigan in him. I'm serious, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. But they're doing it. Yo, Sean, I got it. You've been calling it. It.
I've been on this Boston team for a while, man. And listen, it just comes down to the fact that, it's just that they're good at every level and they have guys that can do multiple different things that all know their job, that all contribute to winning. And it's the fact that if one night it's not Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, they have guys like Grant Williams, they have guys like Marcus Smart, they have guys like even like Robert Williams, who's out there on one leg getting 4 blocks in game 3.
He's the most important player, by the way, in the finals right now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he's huge.
When he's off the court, Golden State destroys Boston. When he's on the court, Golden State can't get a bucket within 8 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, Adam, did you see that stat I sent you right now where literally when Steph Curry's on the court in the finals right now, as far as offensive rating, they have the #1 offensive rating in the league. When Steph Curry's off the court right now, the Warriors have the worst offensive rating in 50 years.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Wow.
That's the type of pressure that Boston's bringing, and that's the type of physicality that's just wearing the Warriors down too.
Yeah,
it's making
it. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. That is incredible.
That is.
Yeah. So Steph Curry, when Steph Curry is on the court, the Warriors have the #1 offensive rating in the NBA this season, and at a 116.8. That is their offensive rating when Steph's on the floor. When he's off the floor, their offensive rating is 91.5, which would rank worst in the last 50 seasons.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Man, you have to play their team differently when he's off the floor. Like that's the impact he has on offense. Like people talk about, even if he's having a bad shooting night, still, if he's in the game, does tremendous things for the team, no doubt. Robert Williams has been the most important.
I think that's the difference in the series is the balance that Boston has. I mean, you think about Steph Curry last night with 31. Klay Thompson had the first breakout game in this finals. You're not going to get 25 every game going forward from Klay. You're just not. So that was the game to go get. So 31 from Steph, 25 from Klay, and they lose by double digits.
Yeah, Wiggins was contributing too. Yeah, good games from all 3 of them.
When Draymond Green puts up elementary school numbers on the box score and spends his time yelling at people, that doesn't help. But Boston, man, Boston have everything. They have the white people that nobody knows about that can shoot 3-pointers randomly, right?
Pritchard, baby.
I'm telling you, that shit matters, man.
Yeah,
it does.
Everyone needs that random white dude to knock down a shot.
They have, I think it's Grant Williams, the unathletic, ugly-looking, pudgy power forward that somehow hits 3-pointers every now and then. And then they have Marcus Smart, who goes 2 and 5 game 2 and then 24-5-5 in game 3. It doesn't make any sense, but that's how you win championships, I guess. I don't fucking know.
That's the recipe right there. That's
build
the
a
recipe.
team.
By the way, you know what? We got Kool-Aid, we got King, we got Easy and Deuce in here. All right? You guys tell me the last time drafting a fucking white dude in the lottery worked out. You guys tell me. Tell me.
Larry Bird last time.
Luka doesn't count.
Luka.
He's European. He's European. I want an American that's worked out.
That's
Adam Morrison, Luke Kennard. Fucking
we can't count Luka. We can't count Luka.
We need to understand our role in
not
this.
agreeing with
We're
this
fucking white.
agreement.
We can't jump out of the gym.
I'm not
all
getting
right?
involved.
All we can do is hit free throws and fucking shoot. That's our job.
Hey, Adam,
all right?
Adam, here's one for you.
Listen, man, Henry Ellenson in summer league.
Greatest
Jason Kidd doesn't
Michael
count.
Jordan.
He's
the
mixed.
greatest G League player of all time.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm telling you, man, when this guy stepped into the Orlando Summer League gym, it was a different day, man. It's Kareem in the finals.
That was rough.
So now we know, right? We know the draft strategy. Don't draft a white guy unless he's overseas. That's it.
Man, tell Stan Van Gundy that, man. That's who we need to tell. Like that's the. I'll deliver the message if you want, but it's Stan Van Gundy for sure.
Please do. Every season.
Listen, man, you
It's
just gotta know
still
your
hard,
place.
man. I
You just
still
gotta
like
know
that
your
night.
place
One of
sometimes.
the
Self-awareness
comments
is
on fire,
important,
man.
all right?
No, I feel you. I mean, you can't even say Jason Kidd. I mean, he's mixed. So you know, it's don't draft Luke Kennard.
Someone said Steve Nash, but isn't Steve Nash like South African or something?
Canadian.
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 Hey, I love us.
That wasn't
dog.
even close, but I was just like,
I love that this exists.
Out of
I
all
really do.
places, you thought South Africa.
You might as you.
He thought white chocolate. That's all he thought.
Hey, Jason Williams.
Uganda while you were at it. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
exactly. Jay Will.
Hey! I just googled it. He was born in South Africa. So you know what?
Steve Nash from Wakanda.
Fuck y'all. Get your Google machine with it, then. Get your Google
My man
machine with it.
My man was born on
Wakanda.
vacation. There's no way he was born in South Africa. He was born on vacation.
Johannesburg, South Africa.
He was-
He was born, yeah, the flight was delayed. There was no chance.
And then his family immigrated to Canada.
That man likes soccer. Like he's a big
He likes soccer.
football guy. So I don't know where he got. Honestly, I don't know where he's from.
Drummond was great.
Listen, all I know is our country's slumping right now. We're fucking losing MVPs to Europeans right now. Fat Europeans and a freak of nature, and the honest.
Hey, we got. Hey, Cade will get us an MVP in the next few years. You'll get an MVP at some point in his career.
Yeah,
Say year
Yeah, that's
5.
true.
I definitely believe that, man.
Year 5, year 6.
Believe that. And I saw somebody put earlier in the comments as well, that Cade might not be our leading scorer. And honestly, I don't think that's even on Cade's mind. I don't think scoring necessarily is on his mind. Going out there and getting his. I mean, for Cade, it's about winning. Playing winning basketball. And for Cade, if he got the right set of players around him, I can see him being somebody that is not leading the team in scoring, but is definitely up there in rebounds, definitely up there in assists, and definitely up there in points. What I would love to see him do is potentially leading our team in free throw shooting. I hope the league finally recognizes that this dude is getting hit when he goes to the rack. He said he's learning how to play. He's learning how to get that. But I believe that type of aggressiveness from our lead ball handler, whether he's the leading scorer or not, that's what we want to see out of him.
I would even look at Jason Tatum this year. He hasn't always been their leading scorer.
No.
Sometimes Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I think the 2 Cubs they have this series, he was the leading scorer.
Yeah, look at game one. Game one, he had 13 assists.
And that's what I want. I want versatility, man. If this guy can't get it, this guy can. If that guy, I want that type of team. I don't want a one-trick pony team.
Yeah, Mr. Ray said it best too. He gonna get his.
Yeah,
absolutely.
His.
Yeah, it's
like
he's gonna find ways.
Clutch points. He literally led the league after All-Star break.
I was gonna say I felt like he was kind of getting that, like he'll get his, like that was already being a realization in the season. Like you can kind of see him like slowly, not rushing his shots. He's like, listen, I'll get my teammates involved, kind of like that LeBron-esque. I'm gonna get my teammates involved and I'll go get mine. That's the right way.
I'm glad you mentioned
the most important thing.
I want him to be a player, something like Luka, obviously, but I don't want him to be in a Luka situation. You know what I'm saying? Where the ship just gets burned down because you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah, look, I think Jeff hit it on the nail. I think Cade is a less talented version of LeBron in terms of the way he plays.
Yep.
Not as gifted of a passer, not as physical, maybe not as gifted physically, but the kid plays with elite basketball IQ. Russell Westbrook in his prime couldn't make decisions like Cade Cunningham could his rookie year. And yeah, I know I'm a Russell Westbrook hater, but tough shit.
There's a straight out Russ.
I take my shots when I can.
Yeah, you got to.
Okay, I'm with it.
Look, Cade can get you 40, and he can get you 12 and 20. It doesn't matter. Like, he'll do whatever it takes. I love that about him.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing that Pistons fans should realize about Cade Cunningham. That's a guy that probably by year 3, year 4 is 24, 6 and 8. That's probably what he's going to do.
Yeah, and I really think year 2 he can take the type of leap where he can at the very
fuck
least
said
be in the
Westbrook's
All-Star.
a top 5 point guard of all time? Who the fuck? He's fucking Indian. That's who. Of course, there's no fucking basketball.
The top 5 stat pattern. That's what he is.
Yeah, that's true. Can I propose
Spencer,
a question?
Sean, you're being harassed by Spence, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
he
I
wants
called
me
out my
to
own race. It's
answer
not
the following
racism.
question.
I called out my own fucking race. All right, it's not racism. Chill the fuck out. Stop being
Spencer
so PC.
wants me to answer the following question. Would you rather
Westbrook's
bang
not even
Scottie?
a top 500 point guard of all time. Get that shit out of here.
Wow, 500. Wow.
Spencer wants me to answer the following question.
Really
Would you
don't
rather bang Scottie Pippen's girl with Future or smoke hookah and drink beers with Luka?
Oh, I'd rather smoke and fucking drink beers with Luka. I'm getting lit.
Yeah, no doubt.
I feel like
you're getting laid.
Look, and honestly, I'm setting myself up for disappointment. I'm gonna be banging a chick next to Future. I have no chance. You're not seeing my skin color. What are we doing?
yeah, she sees Future next to me. I'm history. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
He
no
won't even
doubt.
see you. That's the point.
No, Sean, bro, throw on that auto tune. Come on, man.
oh yeah, I can do that exact same thing.
Let's get it. There we go. No difference, bro. No difference. I hear Future do it. I hear you do it.
Maybe
Yeah,
don't do it.
I am
Future
the
style, bro.
exact same. As
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
Spencer.
Oh,
Why?
man.
Why is Spencer always
Spencer's a
just
whore. Spencer would bang Killian Hayes. He doesn't care.
I
Bro,
feel like
what is
I feel
happening?
like that's something. I feel like he's just ready to type that in whatever group chat
Bro,
he's in or
what?
whatever. Like
What?
he just goes in a
Said I'm
stream and he's got
clapping
that
cheeks.
ready to comment, ready to go.
Sean, answer me, you coward.
Yeah, Adam, you bring a different type of energy to this episode, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Speaking about that, shout out to Ashton the trainer. He did retweet the stream. He tried to get on tonight. He's like, bro, I'm in the hills of California. My service sucks. I will jump on the stream soon. But shout out to him, man.
Shout out to bro.
He supports.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yep.
Shout out Ash, and I love that guy.
Who's got the best? What the hell do you call this thing? Who has the best avatar name? Whatever the hell this blue little shit on our screen is.
Oh, the best. Oh, like the best name,
I think it's me.
best handle.
Yeah, you might have took that one.
You guys are out here being professional.
You
Yeah.
told me to switch the gears from NFL draft to my draft cocaine. And I was don't draft white.
Oh my god.
Oh
I still
god.
get DMs to this day.
Oh my.
Lose all the advertisers.
Oh,
Yo, what
man.
is it for the draft, man? What's the hashtag for the draft, Adam? You got to bless us with
The
one.
NBA
For
draft, don't draft white.
That's it.
Oh my god.
You're picking in the lottery. Don't draft white. It usually never works
Really
out.
got
That's
point.
it.
Or we could always just stick with the old faithful hashtag trust in Troy if we're looking to not get canceled.
Makes
I'm
sense.
telling are you telling me I should not tweet "Don't draft white" from the Woodward Pistons account?
I'll fucking tweet it right
Yeah.
now. You think I give a shit? I'll tweet
Let's
it
get it.
online.
We're not questioning you.
Get
We've
ready.
never questioned you. You've never questioned that. Adam, you have never been a question.
I've had
of
so
my
many
mind.
tweets taken down from the main account because I swore or said something I shouldn't have said.
Me and you both, buddy.
Yes.
People like, "Listen,
I think I got
Unacceptable.
away with posting that clip of you saying, "Congratulations, you earned a personal fuck you from me." 'Cause I
right.
think I got away
Yeah,
with it
it's
because
one that
I
got
was
in trouble
because
probably,
it was
huh?
you. I think people assumed it was you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I went wild
Oh.
on Matthew Stafford. Holy shit. That was the whole
he
thing.
really did. I
Oh,
love
that
it.
was a dope segment. man.
Jesus.
So
Dope
Adam,
segment.
who's so out of those guys in this draft? Who's the
Yeah.
cocaine player? Who's the cocaine guy?
In the NBA
Draft?
draft?
Who? Yeah. Who's the guy?
Because you
that's a
could
good one.
make the argument, the cocaine argument in the NFL is
I think
get
the
edge rusher,
cocaine.
get-
I think the cocaine is sharp.
Sharp. Okay.
Mm.
It has to be sharp. It has to be sharp. I'm talking at 5, not at number
Jeff
1.
got excited. Jeff got so excited.
It's at number 5. Sharp at 5 would be like either you miss and you move on and you just draft again next year, or you hit. And it could be Jaylen Brown. He could be a better version, a slightly worse version. You don't know, but that's an upside pick. That's the definition of an upside pick. Jaden Ivey, yeah, he's got upside, but you're expecting a 2 guard who can play off the ball, get his own shot, ideally develops a better mid-range game. He can hit a 3-pointer or whatever. That's where the league's going, but a star. You're not going to win without a star. What the Pistons did in 2004, amazing. That was just a hell of a team that
The
God
reason why
knows
that
how
team's
Joe
the
Dumars
anomaly and
assembled
not
it.
the recipe.
You just got to look at the league. Who's won all the chips, right? LeBron, 10 years in a row at the finals. You look at the Warriors now, star players. It's a star league. And the Pistons aren't signing him in free agent. Devin Booker's not coming here just because he has family here. That's the reality.
LeBron won because he had all the damn stars.
Yeah.
LeBron was the fucking star. That's the problem.
LeBron was a star.
Megalodon.
LeBron was a star.
He might have a good
Deuce
future
is
in
up
the
now.
NBA.
Deuce is awake. We're talking about LeBron.
Yeah.
My ass.
Yeah.
Hey, I was watching LeBron's career highlights against Boston right before I hopped on. Actually, I was like, and they had like a freeze frame of like LeBron in between Ray Allen, KG, Paul Pierce, and Rondo. Like,
Yeah.
That's what these motherfuckers did to go and stop him.
Yeah, bro.
Wait.
Easiest road to the finals I ever seen in my life.
Hold on.
Bro, Adam tried to
Go
crush
there.
my Booker to Detroit dreams.
No,
This
Booker
is like,
told me
yeah,
to-
this is something we all cling on to with our therapists, Adam. Don't you be mistaken.
Oh, he gonna run? He gonna just drop that and then run.
You gonna run the beat?
Can I, to Adam's point about Shaden Sharp, and I just want to ask this question. I'm not going to say anything more, but if you're having the discussion of Cade might not be your leading scorer, and also you don't think the Pistons will be in this position again to have the 5th overall pick, and you never know, the lottery is how it works. You think you'd have to draft the dude this year? Am I wrong on that, or are you allowed to settle? And in the future, you're not getting any free agents. To Adam's point, I agree with him. You're not getting that top tier free agents. You're gonna have to draft them. And if you're not going to find them like a Donovan Mitchell, in the teens, then at 5, what are we thinking here? Is this an upside? Go for upside. The NBA is one of the, you could argue, the sport for upside. That's what you're looking at.
Jeff got you,
Hey,
King.
Jeff is like we said, bro.
Who is okay?
Is the non-7
I want pure sheer honesty.
Mhm.
Who in here knew who the fuck Shaden Sharp was before we got close to this draft conversation?
I know who he was. I watched him.
I found out.
He wasn't in magazines. He wasn't
Jeff
all
told
over
me.
YouTube. He wasn't all
Hey,
over
listen,
Twitter.
I watch a lot of
Jeff threw a
mixtapes.
while back.
I watch a lot of
yeah.
mixtapes of high school players. I knew about Shaden Sharp. To be fair, his junior and senior year, obviously he was nowhere to be found before that because he got ranked his junior and senior year. But to your point, I get it. I guess it is the obsession with flashy. A lot of people do agree with that. But for me, I just see the potential. I see the upside. And if I'm an NBA GM, I'm drafting upside. I'm Javi Baez, boys. I'm swinging at every goddamn pitch you throw at me.
But
Look, I'm gonna go back to this again, Jeff. What if Imani Bates was sat out this year? Would you have drafted him?
Well, Amani's different because you got to look at the personality of the player.
Amani
Amani
said he was the next KD.
I'll tell you straight. Amani's selfish. He's selfish. He is. And if you want to disagree, we can have the conversation.
But Sharp looks lazy.
From what?
From any footage we've seen from him, his motor just looks like drumming, bro.
No, there's two. This is why there's a caveat. Hold on, stay with me, Kool-Aid. Stay with me. There's a caveat. He has to pass the interview process with Troy Weaver. You have to, because if he's a douchebag in the interviews and you see he doesn't have that work ethic, why would I want to draft him? This is me assuming he checks those boxes. If he checks those boxes and I'm drafting upside, give me an argument. I mean, honestly, I don't know.
What if none of you draft upside, huh? And what
Keegan
if
Murray.
I told you that you draft Keegan Murray and 4 years from now he develops into a good number 3 and you're happy about it, but along the way you didn't get a star, or maybe next year you suck and you get another chance at getting a star. The problem is if you keep swinging for the fences and you don't hit, that's a problem, right? Boston hit. Not only did Boston hit, they also hit on number 3s, number 4s that you need in the team, the guys that sit on the bench. They've gotten all those hits. You know, people laugh at the Rams. Oh, look at the salary cap. You know, what are they doing out in the NFL? How the hell do they have a salary cap? They just hit on their 3rd, 4th, 5th round draft picks, and they just contribute. Boston did that. And for the Pistons, I know we make a big deal about what the hell they're going to do at 5 this year. This is the year to get a superstar at 5. I don't think they're going to be picking top 5 unless they get lucky in the lottery. I think they're going to be better next year. So probably for the next 2-3 years, you're going to be drafting pieces. But this year is your only chance at a star. So as much as the Keegan Murray or whoever the hell else you want to bring up at 5, at the end of the day, just close your eyes, roll the dice, and pray to God you walk away with a star player. Because if you don't,
if you're the Pistons, do you pick him at 5 if you know Portland's willing to do the deal with you at 7? He's projected to be available at 7. Do you pick an Ivy or a Murray?
I would have traded the motherfucker 5 months ago, but you know, here we are.
If I got the deal at 7, I'm taking Sharp because I have.
Listen,
7.
Adam would have traded Jeff. He would have traded Jeremy Grant for an expired bag of Red Vines,
I would have
dude.
traded Jeremy Grant for a bag of condoms, and you know what? That would have been more than what Al Avila got for the whole fucking 2013 Detroit Tigers, and I would still be a better GM than Al Avila. So here we are.
And
My
to
only
be
fear
honest,
was that, as far as with the pick, is more so I fear in hindsight, 10 years from now, right? We wait on, we say, okay, we trade Grant, we're going to get him at 7. And then he goes 6. And he ends up being this next superstar player. And I'm like, oh, man, I did all this. I could have had him at 5, but because I had 7, he slipped by me. That's my fear in Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, you got to take Sharp at 5, and you pray Keegan there at 7.
I don't even think he's gonna go in the top 5.
By the way, some dumb motherfucker put out on Twitter, I don't know, that Keegan Murray was projected to go 14th in the draft. I haven't been paying much attention. I've been busy. How does that work? It was something along the lines of the Pistons trade Grant, I think, for pick 14 and 17, something like that. And then they ended up getting, I think, Sharp at 5. And I want to say Keegan at 14. Shit didn't make sense to me. I don't know. Is that real? I don't think that's real.
Be there.
Keegan at 14, Troy is definitely drafting him.
There's no way Keegan Murray makes it past.
Straight up.
That's an NBA 2K player that tweeted.
Yeah, Keegan is top 7. We all agree on that, right?
There's no way it makes it past the Trailblazers because they need somebody who's like ready to play right now.
Facts.
You're right on that one.
They need
on that
one.
Yo, you guys are all talking about the number 5 pick with zero expectation that Chet, Jabari, or Paolo fall. Of the 3, who's most likely to fall?
I feel like Paolo.
I think Paolo is the most likely to fall because I think I think there's I don't think there's any questions with Chet and Jabari as far as what they bring on the defensive end. I think we know like what they are as commodities there. If there's any of the 3 that would be the most likely, I think it would just be Paolo because of like the questions are of like what is he? Adam. I think it's also with his motor too, but I guess it should be Chet because he's white. I guess that's why. But
back to the argument.
The dude's going top 2.
I think so too.
Yeah,
top 2. So yeah, Chet doesn't count in this conversation. And to be honest with you, I don't know. Jokic is a freaking menace. Is Chet gonna be 24, 12 and 6? I don't think so. Is he gonna be 26 and 14 like Embiid? I don't think so. The dude needs to gain like 70 pounds over the next 5 years. That's a project. That's not you draft him and he's going to come in and play basketball. He needs time to develop into his body. He'll probably be 10 and 6 his rookie year. He'll be 14 and maybe 7 his second year. He's going to need to put on a lot of weight. And, it took Giannis a while. And when he did, and when he grew into his body, he dominated the game. So, people talk about Chet. Oh, he's a top 2 pick. Yeah, he's a project. He's not coming in like Luka. He's not coming in like some of these other players, Ja Morant.
Yeah, and, he's not going to dominate the league day one by
it's not going to happen. And, I don't know if any of you know Zion Williamson personally, but somebody needs to tell his trainer, whoever the hell's in his circle, to get his fucking ass in shape because the dude's a goddamn good player. And I want to see him play basketball. That's totally off topic.
It sucks. It sucks that he hasn't looked like he's been in good shape since his days at Duke. Literally,
taking advice from Al Avila.
Like we're talking about like Zion now. Like people talk about how he's like a defensive liability now. Like, do people not remember like the types of blocks and the things he was able to do?
The
at
guy
Duke?
was one of the most unstoppable players when he was healthy. I don't know what the hell people are talking about.
Yeah,
I know it's crazy.
And look, I need y'all to tell me, what do you guys think of Chet? I already see in the comments y'all are getting going. Let me know. Seriously, I want to know. I want to see the comments. Spencer
Chet
definitely is probably leading the charge in this.
And Thon Maker and Bobo are unicorns too. Don't start with the unicorn talk.
I think.
Hold up.
think-
Hold
I
up.
think-
All right, go on. Go. You can go.
I think Chet is the sharp in his group, right? Like he's the guy who has high upside, but you don't know if it's going to work out because I watched him struggle in college against big guys. Durant was going at him. It was to the point where he was flopping. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that in college. You already had that mindset already. So going into the NBA with guys who are much more physical, much more in shape, much stronger, much more durable, that's going to be a lot for him to go through, especially with an 82-game season. We're not talking 30 games here. That rookie wall, he's probably going to hit him pretty hard. So I don't want that. That worries me.
Yeah, but he's got handles, man. He can shoot the three, dribble it up the court. He definitely is. I think you nailed it. He is the real Shaden Sharp. That's the unicorn. It's the white dude out of Gonzaga who can basically do everything.
Don't draft Watt.
Be bound, protect.
He ain't playing the 1. He ain't playing the 2 or the 3. He gonna play the 4 or the 5.
We all
he gonna get murdered.
Jokic was 6-7 years ago either when that fat ass was taken in the second round. If the kid can build or develop into his body, he's got all the skills to be one of the best players. I mean, you can really compare his game to Anthony Davis and Jokic and to what he can develop. Yeah. But that's a big fucking if. That's the problem.
Yep. Yo, who is Chet in the NBA?
About Anthony Davis.
Who his upside, like who they want him to be, Kevin Durant.
No, I think he's Anthony Davis more than he's Kevin Durant. No chance he's Kevin Durant. I think he's Anthony Davis with better handles, but not as good as what do you call it? A fucking defender.
And Anthony Davis can stay healthy. That's the big knock on him. Everybody says Anthony Davis would be top 5 if he can stay healthy, right? But what's the knock on him? Well, he'd be top 5, but he can't stay healthy. So we're talking about the same kind of player. That kind of player can't. Once again, I'm worried about his durability.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of questions with that. I think I think with Chet, I think he has a lot of similarities to a guy like Draymond Green, where he can play a type of role that's not conventional, where it might not show up in the stat sheet, where he's the type of guy who's a forward who can handle the ball, that can play make, that can also defend and guard multiple different positions.
Yeah, but is he a whiny bitch? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not like him in that regard.
You explain to me what happened to Draymond Green, by the way, 4 or 5 years ago, before he kicked LeBron in the dick. The dude could get a 3-point shot. He could get you about 12 and 10 a game easily. He's always been a very defender, but
so here's my theory.
He forgot how to shoot the basketball. I don't know what happened.
Here's my theory. I think when Kevin Durant came to the Warriors, at that point, Draymond, before then, he needed to be more aggressive. They needed him to go out there and score. Whereas when it was 4 of the most elite offensive players in the world, or 3 of the most offensive players, 3 of the most elite offensive players, and Draymond Green, at that point, he's really just dishing the ball to guys. Whereas now, you don't have Kevin Durant anymore. They need you to go out and score again. And that's something that Draymond Green hasn't been asked to do in years. So I think he's in a situation where he's not the same as that guy, as that Draymond Green of 6 years ago in that regard. I think if you're asking Draymond Green to go out there and be a consistent offensive player, I think he can go out there and he could definitely do better than 4 shots. I know that much.
No, we don't want him taking 12 shots. We saw what happened in game 1 and 2.
That is true. That is true. So, it's one of those things.
I think it comes down. My man's 32. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was that guy, that was almost 10 years ago now. It's been a minute.
No, it's been like 4 years.
It's been about 6. Because you think of 2016 was when they lost to the Cavs. That's when he had 32, 15, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like 2015 when they won. So yeah.
Yep.
7 years.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it was a minute ago. I mean, it seems like he's slowly losing athleticism. I was watching him last night, and we know Grant is a monster, but he was just going over the top and just getting rebounds.
Yeah, and let's be real about it. Draymond, to begin with, wasn't the most athletic. But the reason why he fell in the draft, didn't even know what position he played. He wasn't big enough to be a 4. He wasn't fast enough to be a 3. And like you add that along with the age, like he's just slowing down, man.
Yeah.
And he's bitching a lot.
Just add that.
Hey, you know what's funny too? Last night, Clay was just going off, bitching about the fans, and I just remember back to when he was talking shit to LeBron. He's like, "Yeah, it seems like somebody just a little bit sensitive. We got their feelings hurt." And now here he is, a couple years later, doing the same shit.
Thing, right? So who do you got? So how many games? Who do you have? How many games? We're 2-1 Boston. What do you guys got?
Boston 6.
Boston 6.
Warriors 7.
Ooh.
Oh.
King?
Boston 7.
Boston. Wow. Whoa, hold on. Wow. A lot has transpired in a week, bro.
Yeah, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no faith in Boston, man, because I've seen them
Very consistent.
I've seen them skate, man. They was very inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no faith in, but what they're doing and the way that those guys are together, you know, I just feel like they're gonna find some type of way to win.
Yeah,
man.
Sean, I think last week, bro, you said the same thing that I said. They're gonna surprise a lot of people. It reminds me of the Lakers and the Pistons, 2004. I keep going back to that. Everyone is picking the Warriors, and rightfully so. They're champions. The same thing with the Lakers. Everyone picked the Lakers, rightfully so. They were champions. And I think, you know, they're like, who's this young Boston team? Who are they? They're not proven. They haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
And I think they're there. It happens every decade or so where the team that's not supposed to win sometimes surprises people. And I think that's
in addition too, I think a lot of people just saw the Warriors and they saw that Warriors team that was in the finals 4 years ago or 5 years ago or 6 years ago. This isn't the same Warriors team. This is a team that, you know, that needs guys like Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole to step up for them to have a chance. So, you know, like the reason why I was concerned and the reason why I just had have to lean Boston is just you just like the physicality and what they can bring. That's something that is consistent. That's something you can count on every single game is that defensive intensity.
6'4".
Whereas
Marcus Smart.
But
whereas with the Golden State Warriors, in all seriousness, you know, you don't know when Jordan Poole is going to show up. It's a coin toss of what you're going to get out of him each night. Yeah. Andrew Wiggins, you're praying to God that Maple Jordan's showing out on the court because that's going to be what you're going to need in order for these guys to show up. If Jason Tatum doesn't show up, there's other guys on the Celtics who consistently step up, like Adam, like you said, the random white guy that can hit shot. Like Peyton Pritchard can come off the bench and be a freaking flamethrower at any point. Grant Williams, we saw take how many 13 threes in the conference finals or something like that.
Let's make no mistake. If Tatum and Brown aren't Tatum and Brown, they're not going to win this series. I'm not going to.
No, they're not. You're right. You're right. But what I'm saying is, I think there's more guys on the Celtics who can step up and who can take the reins. Like you got guys like
I don't know, bro. The Warriors got Otto Porter, they got Jordan Poole, like they got guys like.
But here's the thing.
I don't know. They got Otto Porter.
Think about it though. Think about those Warriors teams before KD got there. What was their mantra? Strength in numbers. They had Barbosa. They had Livingston's coming in. You know what he's gonna do? Get you 8 points.
Livingston was so nice.
With that, he was nice. You knew he was gonna come in and pull that midi. Every game
underrated,
unguardable.
So you had guys who were consistent. I think now, you look at Jordan Poole, you look at Otto Porter, they're not consistently giving you that game to game to game. I think that's the difference.
You have veterans, now you got young pups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and I don't want to no way shape compare Boston to the Pistons because this is totally different.
I meant in theory, conceptually.
But the Young Bucks
we're 3-4 years away for you saying that.
The Young Bucks with this mix of veterans, though, is the only reason why I'm giving the Warriors this opportunity, this chance. Steph Curry, he needs the Young Bucks to have that, I don't give a frick what's going on. Like they tried to rattle Jordan Poole in the last round, talking about, you tried to injure him. We saw you pull on his leg. He's like, I didn't pull on his leg, bro. We out here playing ball. And that's, if you're going to have young players and you're going to be in the finals, your young players are going to have that type of stoicness to them, whether they are consistent or not.
Yeah.
The Warriors have enough offense and just enough defense. Obviously, they're in the finals and they've won a game in this finals to rattle Boston. If they can push and design plays and defenses enough to just frustrate Tatum and Brown, which I'm not going to sleep on Steve Kerr. I'm not. Nobody on this chat should.
Steve Kerr has a losing record against Boston.
champions, man. Absolutely.
It's not a pushover series. I think it's going to be something similar to Miami, where it's going to come down to the last quarter of basketball in the 7th game.
I had the honor of meeting Jalen Rose. I want to say it was the Pistons game. I don't remember who they played. We ended up losing, but either way, I got him hooked up with Brandon, so we come on the bottom line. But we were talking about basketball in general, how the Pistons should build a little bit. And he said at the end of the day, basketball is a big man's game. And you look at the past champions when it comes to these wings, like that's been consistent. And now, even with the Warriors being the more experienced team, with technically the I guess more proven stars. I'm not gonna say better for sure or not, but you look into Boston, 6'6" shooting guard. You got Jason Tatum, 6'8". You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're spreading the floor with it too.
You beat me to my point. I was about to say, I don't think you stopping Tatum and Jaden Brown consistently enough.
I don't see it.
Who you have available on that team. I just don't.
You don't really have to stop them consistently. It's more about how you design your defense. It's about making sure that those other guys don't get off, similar to the way that the Pistons used to play their old defenses. If you're sitting here chasing the ghosts of everybody not Tatum and Brown, you're going to lose if you're the Warriors. But if you're saying, well, Tatum beat us because he hit like 15 out of 35 shots, you have a great chance of winning. You're not going to stop those guys, just like the Pistons weren't going to stop Kobe. They weren't going to stop Shaq, but they decided, listen, we're going to play tough defense. We're going to put our best defenders on these guys, and everybody else play proper defense in your responsibilities or in your zones. And the Warriors have enough brain power on their sidelines, and they have enough savvy players and MVP caliber players to put together a little bit of a run. It's 2-1. No, but
it's 2-1. The only thing I'll say about that is this. Only thing I'll say about that is this. Jason Tatum they've won with him having 10 points and 27 points. You know what I mean? So you look at the game where he had more assists than points. He had 13 assists. He's finding guys now. He's able to get a first step and find the open man once the shift happens. And so I think that you think about 13 assists, there's only 4 guys who in their first NBA Finals game had 12 assists. Those guys were John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, right? Michael Jordan. And now you have Jason Tatum. Tatum's the only guy out of those 3 who is not a guard. So he's finding guys. And I think that's the difference, is that he's doing it in multiple ways now. And that's what's making it. If Boston's knocking down shots, I think it's going to be too much. I really do.
Well, Boston if they can knock down shots, but Boston needs to be smart, man. Let Curry get his. Don't let anybody else get nothing.
I just wonder though, as the series goes on, I feel like the more the series goes on, the less it favors Golden State, just because that means that it's just more minutes that these veterans have to go out and play.
I actually disagree on King's point. They just need to focus on Steph. Jordan Poole sucks. He's not going to beat them. Otto Porter's not going to beat them. Jalen Brunson and Jordan Poole for me are the same. They're being extremely overhyped right now. They're just in good situations where they can show out. I don't like either player, especially for the Pistons, but I agree, Sean. The later this goes, the tougher it's going to be for Golden State. I still like Golden State. I think they have it. The problem is Klay Thompson, Draymond Green got to stop wearing panties to the game. Boston's playing physical. Boston's playing real playoff basketball. Golden State is still like, we're just going to dribble around and play team basketball, and we're just going to see if the ball goes in. If it doesn't, we lost. You can't play like that. They're not that talented anymore. They used to run teams out of the gym. And they can't do that anymore.
Klay ain't the same either.
That's why I said what I said. I say if Steph gets off, fine. But Draymond and Klay Thompson can't beat me. I don't want them beating me. Steph Curry and somebody else needs to beat me.
Yeah, but I feel like we're kind of talking about the Warriors and this versus Celtics like this is a regular season Thursday night on TNT game. The Warriors made it to the finals in the Western Conference. They got more than just, it's not like, Poole sucks or this person sucks. They're in the finals for a reason. And right to your point, Adam, that's why I think they got enough juice to get this thing done in 7. I actually believe that the longer the series goes on, the worse it is for Boston, because I believe they actually have the talent to punch in the youth.
But in the Miami series, I'm going to leave you guys with this because I got to prep for my show. I haven't gotten dick done yet, so I got to go. But Boston against Miami looked extremely tense in the fourth quarter. They look so confident. It's effortless for them to score in the fourth quarter. It's actually their best quarter in the entire finals so far. That's a problem. It's actually the Warriors who look tense in the fourth quarter. 16 in game 1, 11 in game 3. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you think that continues the longer this series goes on?
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
I don't.
Peace.
Thanks,
Love
bro.
you, Adam.
Peace.
Thanks for coming on,
Peace,
brother.
Adam.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta get going too, guys. I got a feeling for BDE, so I gotta do my
Yes,
homework
sir.
on
Speak
what we're
easy.
talking about.
I know
Yeah,
this
do
stream
your
went a
thing,
little longer, bro, because we had the guests on and everything, and it was great.
I appreciate
was
you guys
great.
having me.
Yeah,
I know,
easy.
it's
You know
fun.
it's all love,
never
brother.
know.
Hey,
It's
easy,
incredible, brother.
easy. You know, all jokes aside, you know I love you, my guy. You know
Oh,
how
yeah,
grateful
no, I
I am
love you.
for
I
you. You
love
know
all
how
you
much I
guys, for real.
appreciate you.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. Yeah.
And I
love
can
it.
and I could screenshot and I have on the record you tweeting last night. I love Sean Murphy. I don't care who knows it.
Never been a thing. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You lying your ass.
Hey, shout out Adam Beydoun.
Shout out to Adam.
Adam subscribed and you
Oh,
should
before I go.
too.
Hey, I'll take that. Hey, Sean. I think this is another message for you.
That was a special delivery for Sean right there.
Yeah, that was that definitely was.
I'm waiting for Chuck now.
Oh, this guy's definitely Adam's definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost feels
yeah,
like
that
that was
one.
a compliment to point out that it was another compliment not meant for me. I think it was just an extra one to point out that also this one is not for you.
All right.
Oh, my
Whoever's
goodness.
watching, make sure you hit that like
All right,
button.
bro.
Subscribe
Oh,
if you haven't. Hey, subscribe to Woodward Heavyweights too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes, sir.
Woodward Sports,
It's
Woodward
tomorrow.
Heavyweights.
Yes, sir.
Morning
I'll be
Woodward
live
show.
from 11 to 1 on BD with Neil and fellow heavyweight, actually. Me and Spinny. We're gonna turn up.
Let's get it.
Hey.
Sure, go follow that. Y'all check them out, man. For real.
I'll see you guys. Thank you for having me.
All
on.
right,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Yeah. All
What
of
I'm
these.
saying was this, man. I know we coming to a close, but
Yeah.
I don't believe that Golden State goes the whole series with some of the struggles that they've had. So if
No.
Boston wants to win the series, punch them in the mouth fast, bro. Get this series done in 5 or 6. You let
Yeah.
this thing go far. Are you really trying to play Steph Curry in the game 4? I mean, game 7, fourth quarter.
Right.
Hey, we
Absolutely.
think about what we're saying here, man. I don't trust that. I see him
Well,
going the whole game and nobody being able to guard him from
I think it
anywhere on the court.
I think it benefits him in that light that like if it gets to a game 7 and it's like all bets are off, Steph Curry can go out there and do anything. It's the last night of the season, put it all out there. But I think the thing that doesn't benefit Golden State though is that it's only going to get more grueling from here. And we're already seeing like you're seeing at the end of game 1, you're seeing at the end of game 2, you're seeing in moments in game 3 when Steph's just bending over and just looks out of breath and deadbeat tired, man. That's the stuff where I'm concerned because you look at Steph, you look at Clay, and you look at a lot of these guys looking exhausted, man. It's only gonna get tougher from here, man, because the Boston Celtics, that's what they do. They tire you the hell out.
Yeah, they're physical. You think about Steph Curry. Who were the one team that got him hurt twice? He got hurt 2 times this year.
Mm-hmm.
Both from the Celtics, because in both were incidental. It's just they're such a physical team. I think if he's not going to be hurt going forward, but that's just a microcosm of looking how it could not. Maybe next time it's Clay. Maybe Clay gets hurt or whoever it is. But like King said, and like Sean said, they make you tired. They're bumping you. They're going after loose balls, putting you in harm's way, going after loose balls. So those 50-50 balls, they're getting most of those.
That's why I believe that the Warriors are a unique team of young talent who they don't give a frick who's bumping them. You know, the young boys, they don't care. They're going to bump right back. And older veterans who are still MVP caliber, who they know this style of basketball. They're not some middle-aged kind of trying to figure it out. We fumbled our way here to the finals. They're a team with either A, extreme experience, or B, wildly youth that's not getting really pushed off that way. They're not getting out physical and things like that.
Here's the
I
thing.
agree with you. If Boston's gonna win, it's going to be that way. I agree. Boston's a tough, physical, defensive team.
Right.
But you 100% sure they're winning? You know what I'm saying? Like I do believe that the Warriors have enough. I'm not going to disrespect Steph Curry.
No,
I'm not going to disrespect what they've done to get here.
I don't think it's disrespect to say they're not going to win.
No, I'm not saying that.
So
I think it's a little dismissive of some of the talk. I believe when we look at what these people and these players have done to get to this point, Boston did struggle a lot more than people said they would with Miami. They did, and Miami didn't do anything special. They did some of the same things that that the Warriors can do, but just a lot better. And they pushed that to a fourth quarter of Game 7. That's all that I'm saying. I'm saying I look.
Well, I think
see
Miami
Boston winning this. I said that on my pod.
I got you.
I could definitely see them winning this. It's not like I'm like, oh no, Warriors. It's a Game 7, fourth quarter. I just think Steph is going to take it.
Yeah, and listen, man, it's hard for me to bet against Steph Curry, and that's why, like, especially when you're talking about the clutch factor, I'm with King too, where it's like, man, sometimes Boston just makes moves. Or like I talk about Marcus Smart, he's one of my favorite players, but like it almost feels like 46 minutes a game, he's making all the plays that it takes to win, and then for two of those 2 minutes, he'll just do something that you don't understand. Like 2 minutes out of those games, he's going to do something stupid that you can't even begin to comprehend, So like, but like at the same time, like what the other thing, Boston hasn't lost back-to-back games since January. And the one time they did, they sat out their starters. Like this is a team that is on that kind of run. And so, yeah, go ahead, Deuce. Go ahead.
I was gonna say just real quick in that span in the playoffs, they're 7-0 after losing. They have not lost 2 games twice this playoffs, so they know how to make the right adjustments. I think it's gonna be hard for them to lose. I don't see it, man. Like I can see it going 7, but I don't see Boston losing at this point in the series. I think last night
this was how we've seen the matchup so far.
How we've seen it so far. Yeah. Last night was the game to get for me if you're the Warriors. I think had they pulled that off, then we're talking trouble time because now there's a momentum shift.
Just because of how well Clay played, in addition to how well Steph played, and with how well Wiggins played too. That's the question. Are you getting all 3 of those guys to perform again in Game 4? Because I think you're getting a Draymond on fire. I think you're getting a Curry on fire. I'm not questioning that those guys aren't going to come out with energy or aren't going to be ready to play. Right. My question is, are they going to be able to step up? Because Golden State, they haven't played on the road at a place like Boston yet this entire playoffs. They just haven't. They played Denver. They played Memphis, which is probably the closest thing. They played Dallas, and Boston's a whole different level. The Garden in the finals, man, it's a different environment. It just is.
It was a game to get yesterday.
Put Gerald Perry's comment up on the screen for me, man. Because what defensive giant have they played in the Western Conference to get there? You know what I'm saying? This is different.
Much of a defensive giant to get there. The toughest defensive team was probably, or the most scrappy team was probably Memphis.
And they play very similar to Boston as far as the physicality, and that's when we saw the Warriors struggle the most.
Yes, right. Yes, I think defense is definitely going to win this championship. I honestly do, because listen, in no way, shape, or form am I saying Steph ain't Steph. But I don't know what you're gonna get from from Draymond and Clay, man.
And King, that's where I was going, bro. Because
they're shells in themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what you're gonna get from these dudes. Like Clay might, he might actually knock down shots one game. You seen it last series,
right?
You know, so
King, that's what you said. That's what you said last week when I asked you, do you see anybody else win the MVP other than Steph? And you said no, because Clay is gonna get you. He's gonna have a game 6. Clay, he's gonna get you 1 or 2. And in those games, you got to win those games.
I don't think Draymond giving you shit. To be honest, I think Williams and Horford are going to continue to beat his ass. I don't think he's giving you shit.
As soon as I put this up,
he went off.
I honestly
he ain't gonna do.
Honestly, I mean, let's look at the matchup. Hold on, though. Let's look at the matchup for Draymond. This is a matchup nightmare for him too. When you're thinking about him trying to get offense, you have Al Horford or Robert Williams guarding you. That's a matchup nightmare for you.
Both stronger than you.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing bigger that you got is teeth.
Yeah, and you're not gonna out athlete them. You're not gonna out strength them. Like that's just not gonna happen on the offensive end. So for me, and the other thing too, like Steph is gonna be Steph, and like Steph's the best player in this series without a doubt. Yeah. But Jason Tatum's creeping up in the top 10, top 5 player in the world conversation, y'all, man. Like, and I know that he's not been like the alpha as far as the offensive end, but like you said, it's that passing, it's the facilitating. It's when Marcus Smart went into Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and said, we need you guys to be playmakers for us to win. And ever since, Jason Tatum went from being a guy that needed to be more of a playmaker to arguably one of the best playmakers in basketball.
Yeah.
His passing ability, his vision, his overall, like, talk about a chess player. Like, that guy's maneuvering stuff all around the court, and it's part of what makes their three-point attack so dangerous is that they can just dish it. And anyone that's on the court generally, like, they can have 5 guys at any given time that can shoot the three and lace the bottom of the net. So
you make a point
it's
about the alpha or whatever you want to call it. It's the second year in a row in the Eastern Conference where the best player is not the leading scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we had Giannis and we had Middleton. Middleton was the guy as far as when it comes to clutch. He's getting the ball, right? But the best player in the team, Giannis. We all know that. So I think it's a similar situation as to where if you're getting that production from those guys on both sides of the ball consistently to go along with a Marcus Smart, and like you said, with Draymond, if you don't have Horford, you're guarding Williams. It's one or the other. It's one or the other for the whole time you're on the court. That's exhausting. So I think that's the point I was making, Kool-Aid, as far as the grueling part, not just the physical, but the mental part.
So look, from a basketball standpoint, Deuce, you know what, bro, basketball is what I eat, live, breathe, sleep, bro, from a little boy through high school, through college, through it all. I do.
Summit Academy.
I do. But the problem is, bro, we've seen these scenarios already. We've seen this stuff happen before, and nobody's sitting here saying with all of the out and mismatch and number one defense that everybody's in here talking about. Who sit here saying that this thing is gonna end in 5?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, nobody's saying that.
Is anybody? Anybody in the comments? See, look, that's what I'm talking about.
7.
Now, are we talking about why it might go to 6 to 7 on the Warrior side, or are we just loading up on what we think Boston is? Because it's not Steph Curry is a god. It's not that. The Warriors are a good team.
They are a good team. We're not discounting from that. They have a great team.
If you don't count it, then you are discounting it. And that's what I'm saying. If you believe the series is going to go 6 or 7, then we can't sit here talking about what their number one defense hit difference. Now, their number one defense got them to the finals where they are up 2-1, and they are looking good. And they have to continue to execute and get from players who consistently haven't necessarily been that. So, they are depending on players who haven't necessarily been there all season or have been up and down. If one of these guys so happen to have an off night, the Warriors are going to get a dub. And if the Warriors win tomorrow night, is this ending in 6?
They have to win tomorrow night.
Is it ending in 6 or 7?
Probably so.
If the Warriors, I don't think the Warriors going to win a game in Boston.
I don't either.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
Not with this roster. I don't see it.
Especially now with the comments that are being made.
We can talk about the Western Conference all we want to. The Western Conference is a heavy dose of offense.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't say I don't see it because I'm not going to lie with y'all. When the Warriors had that 7-point possession and were up 83-82 in game 3, I thought the Warriors were going to come back and take it. You know what I mean? So I can't say I don't see it because we almost saw it in game 3 for a very brief second. Now, Boston ended up taking over and ultimately making the difference. But Kool-Aid, to your point, you are not wrong. We're not saying that there's not a scenario where the Warriors don't win this championship, because let's be very clear. The Golden State Warriors might not be the Golden State Warriors of old, but they have that DNA, and they still have Steph. They still have Clay. They still have Draymond. I think people are getting way too on Draymond for how bad he played in game 3, because listen, man, Draymond Green's a Hall of Fame caliber player. He's a guy that plays great basketball and does a lot of valuable things for your team at all times. Yeah. There's absolutely a scenario where the Golden State Warriors get in there and they go out and they just light up the gym. They are the team that can go out there. We saw that third quarter run in game 2. Mm-hmm. We saw moments where the Golden State Warriors, there were times in game 1.
Win game 1.
I get that.
This game 1 was supposed to be in the books.
I get that. But they also have Jason Tatum. They also have Jaylen Brown. They also have Marcus Smart. They have players too, that are equalizers. Klay Thompson is not giving you 30 anymore. He's not scoring 61-point games or anything. Nothing close. Mm-hmm. Draymond Green can't shoot for to fucking save his life.
They're not even depending on those dudes though. If those guys give them anything, that starts to tilt this series in a way that the Warriors haven't been able to depend on all playoffs. That's what I'm saying. We're not even talking. People keep talking about Clay, Dre. Them guys ain't mattered their whole entire run to this point, if they matter at all. Mm-hmm. That gives Steph and all these other guys who have been pumping it out all season and all playoffs something. That's what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing.
is
They
a little
haven't-
bit more nuanceical than anybody wants to really breathe and give it. Why was this supposed to be? This was the Warriors. Game 1 was the Warriors. Yeah, it was that close.
Sean,
We're not
who
sitting here talking about a team that's like, listen, y'all are talking about this like it was legitimately the 04 Pistons versus the Lakers. The 04 Pistons punched the Lakers in the mouth game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, and game 5. This is not that series.
Nobody said it was the same thing. I was talking philosophically and theoretically about
the way
favorite,
that I'm hearing it.
No.
Horse.
I think Deuce was talking about the toughness of Boston versus the star power of Golden State.
Finesse and star power Golden State.
Oh no, I was talking about some of the comments too. Like people are making the assertion that their defense is something so formidable that this thing is just a done deal because they have on the other side.
Oh no, and that's the thing, and that's why I'm saying where I think the war, like you can't count out the war, and I'm not saying that this is a done deal. This is over. I'm saying the reason why I believe Boston is that ultimately, as this series goes on, I see the energy being an issue because I don't have a doubt that the Warriors can have a firework display at literally any point. I just wonder how much dynamite they have on hand. I wonder how much they truly have in the tank, because that's the question, because that's the problem. Like when you look at those older teams as the season goes on, it's just tougher for them. It just is.
Right. Yeah, like I say, it's a different with this roster, it's a different thing, man. Can you withstand that flurry when Jason Tatum does have that game where he go off? You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna have a terrible game for the rest of the season. He's going to go off. Yeah. So can you withstand that with this Golden State team? I'm not sure.
And I feel like yesterday was the game to get. Momentum is very important in the playoffs. That, like Steph said yesterday evening, he said you felt like you had to win the game twice because you come all the way back and then you get to the end and you lose.
I appreciate Steph's pleasantries, but Steph's been in enough of these things where he's had the momentum and lost and didn't have the momentum and won. And that's the thing. When I look at their roster, their top 4 scorers are 2 guys that you expect them to be and 2 guys that nobody expected to be there. And they've done it pretty consistently, man, at 17 and 15 points a game in Poole and Wiggins. You know, I can't discount this. The other guys on their squad are pulling in a solid 5 to 8 points a game. And when you're looking at a bench, if these guys are just playing average to what they've been, I agree with you guys on a sensible take, on a sensible notion of defense meets offense. We want to say as Detroiters, defense is going to win. And I can see how some of the mismatches can throw people. Steve Kerr is a little bit different coach. He's going to have to come with something if the Warriors going to have a chance. I do believe that obviously at this point in time, the game to get for the Warriors is the next one. And I believe they got a great shot to get that one, man. But
they do.
Guys,
they
man.
do.
I'm stretching the
like last week. Like
you're being the devil's advocate. You're having the conversation. It's very much, here's the thing. Here's what people didn't give credit at the very beginning of this finals. Because I think a lot of people, Kool-Aid, very much, if you were to ask a week ago, remember, it was all Warriors. A lot of it was Warriors. And Deuce, you and I were kind of, and Deuce, you and I were kind of the ones that were like, I like Boston.
You were saying Boston. You told me I was being too diplomatic because I was saying it was so close.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Now we're in a situation because like here's the reality, because we're seeing now what we were saying beforehand, or what I was trying to stress beforehand. The matchup matters. How these teams match up very much matters, and you have to watch that out, and you have to actually consider that in the equation, because these teams are very formidable in how they match up. It's very much it makes it difficult for both sides in a lot of ways. But in my opinion, I think right now I think what you saw in game 3 was those hardships for Golden State in this series and the adversity they're going to have to overcome in order to win a championship.
If they're off, if their shots aren't falling.
If
you better pray to God that Boston is off.
Because when they're on, they don't lose.
They're on, there's no stopping
the defense every game.
That's truth. That's truth. That is truth. I'm not fighting against Boston or the Warriors. Both.
You know what it was, bro. Like I know.
But But I do believe that there's a little bit more argument to be made for the Warriors. And you're right. The whole everything was Warriors. And then all of a sudden it just shifted. And people who were for Warriors before now starting to say, well, I can see, yeah, I guess Boston. And I'm cool with that. It is what it is.
They got bit by the venom, though. It's the Western Conference. They got bit by that snake, man, because like I said, the Western Conference you're not getting physicality, the physicality that you're gonna get out of the East in the Western Conference. You're just not. And
well, things have changed, huh?
Well, I also think they would have gotten that physicality if there wasn't that massive blowout in Game 7 by the Dallas Mavericks. I think if they faced the Phoenix Suns, I think they would have seen a very physical team. And I think that's the thing is, I think I'm not saying the Warriors haven't been tested this playoffs. I'm not, because they have. They had to play the MVP first round. They had in the second round, they had to play this young, really physical team. They had to play Luka freaking Doncic. I mean, of course, they got tested.
But you gotta look at that, Sean.
Yeah.
You got Luka to beat. You know what I'm saying? You got Luka to beat, and then who else? You know what I'm saying? And then you got
and then on the other side,
in Memphis.
Yeah, but then on the other side, look at the road Boston had to get through.
Yes,
look
that's
at
where I was going.
Like they had to get through Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Miami Heat, and Jimmy Butler, and now you're against Steph Curry and the Golden State. Talk about that's like the ultimate. Like if you're playing a video game and you're going on ultra hard mode and you literally can't read the controls. That's essentially what you're facing if you're going through that. So, but I again, we've just seen this Boston team, they've faced adversity too. And
they do. You think about when they played the Bucks, they were down 3-2 in that series. Remember when Drew Holiday made the steal on Marcus Smart and ended the game? Everyone thought that series was over. They thought that series.
How about the other game one they almost lost against Brooklyn?
Y'all are a bunch of crispy flakes, man.
So listen, listen.
Today we're here to talk about.
We got a clown.
Oh my God!
Listen, we got a clown Toronto fan.
What's going on? Crispy flakes here.
Hold on, King. What's going on?
We got a clown Toronto fan saying Detroit is trash. When the last time we got you?
What?
Bro, you literally got one championship in your entire existence. Shut
and
the
guy
hell up.
who won it for you wasn't even there anymore. Get out of here.
want to be there, bro.
Every team goes through the down period. Every team, even the Lakers and the Celtics, everyone has that period, that down period. You wouldn't know about that because you just won your first championship in a lucky ass year. You bum.
Yeah. Kawhi was nothing but a pit stop.
Like, come on, bro.
Hold on, bro. I ain't did this in a minute, King.
Right. Right.
Clown, bro.
Out of here, you clown. We the North. Yeah, that same North that LeBron abused
for years. Brought your coach here. Casey is here now.
Hey, word up to that, bro. When is the last time the Raptors beat the Pistons? Right.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Y'all were literally in the lottery for the first 20 years of your franchise's existence. Before Masai Ujiri showed up, you guys were a borderline freaking opening show for whatever was going on in the city of Toronto. Y'all were a freaking laughing fest with those dinosaurs on your jersey.
Y'all had Master P on y'all fucking roster. Like, get out of here, bro.
Facts. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Man.
Oh, King and Sean, boy, y'all are lit right now.
I hate
God, y'all. I mean, y'all are from the city that thinks Drake is good rap. So I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, I get it.
I'd run through the six of my woes if I lived in Canada as well. I get it.
From?
Right.
So now I understand, King. I get it.
Right. They come in here talking. Since the Pistons been down for some years, okay, but they talk like the Pistons ain't royalty. You know what I'm saying? Even though if you don't like it, the Pistons are royalty. They're
royalty, man. How many championships? How many y'all got? How many we got? Oh, okay.
Raj, how many championships, man? Count them. Hey, just type that in the comments right now.
How many conference championships and victory?
Type it in the
don't act
comments,
like
bro.
throwing away your guys' coach had a thing with you guys getting Kawhi Leonard, you freaking bum. Get that bull mother argument out of here, you little.
You beat Casey, and the last time y'all bums played Casey, your coach got put out the game.
Man, we need to get off this stream before freaking midnight, dude. Holy cow.
Y'all get Kawhi as LeBron is leaving.
We're going for the record.
Come
We're
on,
just gonna end this stream with like we gotta
Yeah.
hop off. And we're
Hey,
just yelling at random.
Remember what I told you guys. Celtics in 6.
Yep.
All right.
You said Celtics 6-6?
What?
You do all this and you go Celtics in 6. You stretch the pod by 40 minutes by arguing about the Warriors. And you go Celtics in 6.
Nah, he's going Dubs in 7. He's going Dubs in 7. Don't play.
It wasn't me.
Don't play.
The Cade Crusader. He's
The Cade
returned.
Crusader says Celtics in 6. Kool-Aid said Warriors in 7.
Everybody with half a brain knows that Cade Cunningham was the real rookie of the year.
First of all, you listen up, you little neckbeard.
King for president.
No one gives a flying damn about the Toronto Raptors franchise. The Detroit Pistons have some of the most history and tutelage in the entire NBA. They've won 3 NBA championships, 2 back-to-back in 89-90 with the Bad Boys before your franchise even was alive, before they were even conceived or even thought of Toronto as a viable market for the NBA.
If it wasn't for our legend Isaiah Thomas, y'all wouldn't even have a team, bro.
How about that?
Cut it.
Let it be known.
Cut it.
I think my Batman voice is pretty good.
It's solid. I like the growl.
Hey, man, for the Woodward Pistons, table talk. I think that's a wrap, man.
Man.
I really think it is.
I'm about to go in the roast mode.
Yeah, this was one of the best episodes we've done, man. This was a good one. This one was wild.
No,
this was
I'm
the
not
most
letting it
wild
slide,
one
bro.
we've done.
I'm not letting it slide. Somebody said
debate.
Black man and blank man, if you know, you know. And I look like, oh,
Blank man, bro. One of the
wait till I
greatest of
saw
all
what that
time,
mask
for
next time.
Oh man,
Blank
man.
man.
I'm
You
gone.
come take us out, Sean.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. We appreciate it. Woodward Pistons Table Talk each and every week. We come here and talk about our favorite team, man, the Detroit Pistons. We come together as a community. We talk about this team together, man. So be sure that you're following our guys, Downtown Deuce, on Instagram and on socials. Be sure to be following Everything King. Be sure to be following Detroit Kool-Aid and everything that he's doing. But also, be sure that you're subscribed to this channel and not missing the podcast with our guy, Rob Beard. You're not missing the content that's coming to these channels and socials. That you're not missing the streams that are coming up with the NBA draft and everything else. Also, be sure you're subscribed to From Half Court for more Pistons content as well as NBA content with myself and Jeff Iafrady. Shout out to Adam Baydoun. Shout out to Easy. Everybody that hopped in. Jeff that hopped in as well. We appreciate everybody, man. But most importantly, we appreciate the Detroit Pistons fans and the loyal ones that come here and join each and every week because we're all community, man. At the end of the day, we ride together because it's Detroit versus everybody. Even when these weaselly little pieces of Raptors fans come in, we're all together and we ride together, baby. We want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to Woodward Pistons Table Talk. Be sure you subscribe.
Shout out Ashton.
Shout out Ashton.
Andre Drummond's coming home.
Hey, I'll tune us out, Sean.
Woodward Pistons